5. Fnatic, they set themselves up nicely.
And honestly, Brent, I think if Leviathan had full committed to that crunch, Fnatic would have found it very difficult. What do you do if there's an orbital strike on your head at that position and people are still pushing you from arcade? But it was a little half-hearted, and like I said, the aftershock stopped Melza from really getting involved.
All the players grouping up now, stun off onto the corner. Viper Orb placed up, this is a Verso, but again, Iris high reward play that he's making, moves inside the orb, gets the one eventually removed though. The trade is there, time still running relatively low here, the weaponry's not the best, and now the orbital strike to try and cut them up, but Fnatic are winning this one out. The weaponry, the player advantage, all points towards them being able to get this plant down, and it's left up to Takalia. We've seen some magical moments over the course of this tournament.
And he's got the off.
Not quite enough.
Not quite, and Durka's going to go back and collect the weapon. How dare you take a shot at me with my own weapon, he says. As he picks it back up, and Fnatic are back into this game. You're going to have Leviathan on another one of their rifle rounds, and Melza hasn't had a real opportunity to use the orbital strike yet. Obviously a massive ultimate, and probably one of the big reasons why Boasters made the swap over to it. Look at that trade. You do not expect... If Durka doesn't hit that one, I think Adverso ends up getting a couple of kills there. I told you Durka would be taking that personally. It's his weapon. Long lineup from Shy though, throwing his 0 point over to try and get information, and he does. He finds that Missy and Alpha are poking and prodding towards Dish, and Taco already had that info with the boombot coming towards his face. But this is going to start to paint the picture here for Leviathan, that Fnatic are starting these rounds with 3-4 players up towards bridge. Yes. It's unusual. Teams don't often do it, but I think we're starting to see the meta develop in that way to stop bridge crunches. And so far Fnatic are 1 for 1 in stopping aggression on that side of the map.
Slow and steady. It's the pace that's being taken. A couple of pings up into the tower there. Looks like they are going to be stunning it up. Anything else to try and help them out here? Yep, it's going to be the nade just rebounding off the side of the wall.
And that buys space for Mystic to get the final ult point he needs. Breach ult is about to hit the site, and these players are not in position to deal with it.
Well, the fundamentals are going to be sent straight up, flying into the air. Up close and personal. Alpha is there. Eventually, though, traded.
This position from
has to deal with this.
Sky.
Yep, there's going to be a pop flash. Spray transfer is immaculate. 2 kills for him, down to Durka, now left alone, and I know exactly where he is. Placing down that rendezvous, making all the noise in the world. Has to turn up and just create something ridiculous here. But the crossfire, the angles that are being played, it's just perfect from the players of Leviathan.
Yeah, and I think it was a little sloppy, honestly, from Fnatic. They managed to get a breach ult online that, frankly, I don't think Leviathan had considered as a possibility, because Melza and Shy are both in positions where they should just get devastated by that. But look at Shy here. They've been too slow to capitalize on that. And nobody's with Alpha yet, taking advantage of the space that he creates. So Alpha goes 1 for 1 with Melza on site, and Shy is able to withstand the stun, or perhaps even dodge it, gets out of the way and continues that fight. Here's some tree aggression that's going to fly towards Durka, and this time he's getting tucked in, has to rendezvous away.
And this is why you're probably seeing Fnatic playing heavy presence over towards bridge, but I mean, predictable. When it's just Durka playing in the lower section of the map alongside one of a teammate, you know that Fnatic are going to be lurking around.
And that's another big mistake.
Side. Yeah,
that's
Shy, what a...
pretty unaware, honestly, from Alfia and the rest of Fnatic to not think about or have anybody holding the angle underneath. So now
Hello,
4v4,
what's up, Alan?
Fnatic are posturing around trying to regain control of Tree. But I love the way that Leviathan are playing the defense. You've got Taco Leah with his operator pushed up deep in halls, giving them all of the confidence that they can stack 3 players over there towards B. His trademark's holding Dish, his operator's holding halls. Once he takes contact and rendezvous away, then Leviathan can start rotating.
Jiggle. Good discipline to try and spot out Takalea, and with the footsteps, has to respect it.
And now you see Adverso, and that's opened up the lurk.
It's a complete fake, isn't it? Just that one presence with the smokes drop down, all the players of Leviathan, 2 of them rotating back over towards A.
But Melza could be the magic man here.
Melza with the timing. Moving through, can hear the plant sound with the wall being dropped down. Player's position is not quite
there. He gets one.
Back over towards Arcade, Melza deals with it. But the Viper's Pit is down, Josh. This situation, honestly. Leviathan trying to play into this one. Fnatic, they should be favored.
Ooh, Melzer, I think just beefing his movement a little bit gives Boaster the kill. And I wonder whether he has a post-plant molly liner. You would expect it with his move over to Brimstone. Perhaps it won't even be needed. He's just creating a threat at the back.
Yeah. He can play this crossfire angle as well.
Fnatic gonna win.
Away,
I want Fnatic to win then.
Side of the site. Don't know if he is setting
Hi
up
Kurt Orange, notify una yung exclamation point.
Yeah, I don't
before
think
the
Boaster has a Brim molly lineup from Dish.
I would be surprised
if you wanna
though.
follow.
This team's very dirty.
Mystic goes to try and punish Taco. Taco's having none of it. Fnatic 4-5, clawing their way back into this game after a very early 0-4 start, where Leviathan were fully in control. And look, once again, 3 players from Fnatic start the round at the top of the map, over towards bridge side. I would like to see Leviathan at some point go for another one of those crunch plays. Oh, although Fnatic,
big group up.
yeah, making an audible, changing the strategy, and starting with 5 players towards spawn right now. Yeah, this fight looks like it's happening over halls.
Fight being taken, the stun is immaculate. Javier forcing out that showstopper, sent down at the feet of Melzer. Enough damage is done though for Enzo to claim up the remnants of it. A couple of bullets will do the job at the end of the day, and a wider swing again from Adverso.
What a shot.
Feeling like he needs to take matters into his own hands, but again, he goes down, and immaculate with the flash. Pure perfection, it sets up Alpha once more.
I've been so impressed with Mystic's utility so far on map 1. He's a player that I think a lot of people will be looking at with the loss to Paper X. He is at the bottom of the scoreboard right now for all players in the tournament when it comes to ACS. You know, he's putting up 80 damage per round. These are really poor numbers from Mystic.
Sure.
But
thank you for the
his
notify,
utility usage so far in this map
Ryland.
has been
Hello
masterful.
guys.
Yes.
Welcome to my
Every
stream.
flash is responsible for pushing somebody off an angle. The aftershocks are stopping trades coming through. And they're playing the Altorb situation with his breach ults onto sites really well as well.
It's so intentional.
It's hard to tell just yet with only 10 rounds whether this is him playing in much better form or whether he's just got a feel for Fracture and the way that Leviathan are playing, but it would be an enormous step up if Mystic is able to perform as he has been online, because Mystic has been in white-hot form in EMEA. Playing some of his best Valorant.
I mean, he has been a monster when it comes to the clutches, just regionally. But he is a bit of a, you know,
I think I heard the crowd cheer.
Sure. Filling in the roles that maybe
Oh!
don't want to play as much, but
That's so good.
it's a difficult role at times.
And that round as well, Leviathan do go for a lot of the crazy plays. There's Adverso on the wide swing, like you said, Brent. And there's Taco trying to make a play happen too. And Fnatic are dealing with it. They've got
Alpha.
good utility, good spacing.
Sino
so
panalo
that they
sa
can trade each
PRX
other out,
Fnatic?
and they're
Paper
ready
X.
for those
Paper
plays.
X won.
It seems like they're making the adjustment here, and it's been a while since Leviathan have got their feet underneath them.
Yeah.
5-5.
Struggling a bit, I think. Off the back of winning the pistol
This
round,
is
they
Fnatic's map
did
pick.
set themselves up nicely with just the money, the overall situation, the rounds going their way. This is a common trend that we've been seeing with Leviathan, especially in that XZ game. It was one of the reasons why almost all of the maps were going so close, because they were able to get those extra rounds into their belt. But when it comes to the actual meat and potatoes of these halves, when Fnatic are on even footings with them, with the buys themselves, I mean, I haven't been keeping count, but
3, 2, 1.
May 3-2-1 pa si Boaster. Boaster's like
And now you can hear it at
3-2-1.
home as well. When it gets to the end of the round, Boaster is deliberately counting down a cheer, a scream.
yes,
And I think the only purpose for that has got to be to get into Leviathan.
to rattle.
Because it's not based on when they're getting the kills. They already knew they'd won the round for like 30 seconds before that. But they're specifically, I don't know, attempting to tilt Leviathan perhaps as they head into the next.
Part of it as well, probably, you know, getting Alpha here still comfortable. The
Sure.
guy has been playing pretty well, I think. He had a bit of a slower start towards the tournament. You can understand it, he's a younger player, but getting him comfortable on the stage is
Magaling
pretty
ako dyan.
essential.
Talaga ba?
And look at this, the flash at the back has to swing to the side, but still the kill is there.
And
Mystic
there's the
playing
trade.
anti-flash.
The trade from Mystic, really nice to neutralize that threat, because Leviathan had a good idea. Sending the flashes through, going for a swing with King and Melzer. And Adverso tries to make the play again. He has recovered a Vandal. This is great
The door's
timing.
still open. Shot's being found.
timing.
Quick tip tap, even offloading his own ultimate. Off to the
Wow.
side, the flash not enough. The player's fallen so low, it's all
Woo.
down to Alpha. In a 1v1
1v1.
versus Taco Leah, positioning not known. The spike dropped off, and Taco Leah
Uh-oh.
Made his way in towards all the noise being made by Alfio. No more bullets.
Wow.
A perfect opening of the door.
Thrifty.
Takelia finds the timing.
That is a gorgeous thrifty round. And I can hear Leviathan going crazy as well. Both of these teams just hollering back and forth at each other. But that's a great round. Adverso,
Another
once
example,
more.
wasn't it?
He's just unafraid to make the play, and Takelia finds another great timing. Leviathan's plays are not always super synced up together. The opening of the round was with the flashes and the contact in halls, but when things descend a little bit into the 3v3s or 2v2s, it's about players catching timings and making big plays.
And even with the score here for the final round of this first half. Tour de force whipped out on the side of Durka. Going to be trying to cover those angles with the rest of his team contacting deep into dish. No aggressive plays being made from Leviathan.
Well,
other than the halls control.
Yeah, they do have quite a deep look at halls, and they've been trying to get in front of Enzo's smoke almost every time. And that means that Enzo's Viper utility is fairly useless.
Chamber's a good agent.
Are they going to be walking into this one?
If you know how to aim.
King's still holding the angle. He doesn't really have
You need to
too much
be
support him because,
good.
I mean, Verso's got to be watching drop the entire time.
Yeah, and if Nelsa swings to trade King, he can't really use his ultimate. And I think playing off the orbital strike here is going to be more important than trading King.
This is such a wide angle for King to be holding. But he gets the value anyway. They just don't expect him to be there. The stuns are trying to help him out. Get him out of there, King. Hopping away. And now the support comes down with that Brim Molly to cut them up. If anybody tries to push the ult, Mystic is taking so much damage in the orbital strike. Oh, it's perfect.
Wow.
The wombo combo play. Alfia tries to make the most of it, but he's shut down on top of it. Oster left alone. Fragment into the corner. Chunking him down, the damage being taken, the no command from Shy, meaning no abilities can be used, and they know his exact positioning.
And we said it felt a little dangerous going towards... Hello, throwing out the orbital strike there as well.
Final round might as well. Trying to make the most of it, but the player positioning not quite known.
We said it might be a little bit dangerous for Fnatic to go into Leviathan when you have no data to look at.
Movie night.
But a 7-5 half, not even just off the back of those first 4 rounds, but there was some beautiful stuff shown in 11 and 12 too.
Yes.
Leviathan
panoodin nyo ano, Dr. Sleep. Dr.
and
Sleep.
it's working fairly well.
And I think
Actually, ganda yun.
with this lead, it's incredibly interesting.
Snack
especially
time
with
ako
what
nga eh.
we really knew about Leviathan
Skippy,
coming into this
Skippy yung
initial
naman.
map. But of course, our analyst desk is going to be breaking down all the action that we've seen thus far. What have you got for us, guys?
Thank you very much, Bren and Sideshow. 7-5 to Leviathan right off the bat on Fracture, but I can't help but feel it could have gone a lot worse for Fnatic if it weren't for the fact that this is the alpha we were used to in EMEHS. He's shown up.
I mean, I was sitting back in my hotel room watching him when he first debuted here on the international stage. I was like, ooh, trips and stumbles.
Mapil ko ma-enjoy niya yun.
Especially someone who's not been in this environment before. And I said to everyone, give him time to warm in. This is him warm. This is him hot, ready to go.
Yeah, and I think it was came off the back of Fnatic finally understanding how to deal with the pace from Leviathan, because there was a lot of it at the beginning of the half, right? They were
Wow,
constantly
busy
pushing,
sa career. I'm proud of
this
you.
was the round where they really started. This is round
Welcome
6.
back. Kamusta
Really
balo
started
mo?
to understand how Leviathan was going to play, but before that, I really felt like it was shades of the Paper X game, because constantly it looked like Fnatic was just scared. This is now the 3rd player pushing down through Arcade slow through a smoke, and you know, Boaster's capitalizing, Alpha now is really capitalizing, and then they shifted the pace, and that's where they started to come back.
Yeah, I like the fact that they've read it. Obviously, unlike Paper Rex, they've been able to have a response to it. But I also conversely think that this is a huge strength of Leviathan to be able to play at this pace that they know is a weakness of their opponent on an unknown quantity that is Fracture. And I like that. I think it's worked well.
Yeah, and I think Josh was saying at the end, right, that round 11 and round 12 were really beautiful swaps of that pace, right? They just went into trappy play all of a sudden, and that's the dynamic that I don't think we've seen really from Leviathan. It also was the type of play that they were pulling out to kind of convince me that they were more of a standard team, not always going for that aggressive types of styles.
I like the flexibility here because, Jess, you can't just run at Fnatic because you're gonna run out of ideas at some point, but them holding it back, I think bodes really well for them into the second half.
I said after Ascent, after blowing my mind with their debut map and doing what they did on a map I didn't expect, that they needed more depth. It needed to be in the maps, it needed to be in the set plays, it needed to be more than, oh, Taco can kill and then Shy can lurk and blah, blah, blah. I needed more. I saw flashes of that. Show me what you do in the attacking half. That's what I want to see.
I can't wait to see it. Let's just get straight back in here and throw this over to Sideshow and Brent.
guys. Yeah, I think you guys have set the stage perfectly for this one. You know, this battle of, you know, the fast tempo that Leviathan have been bringing every now and then and slowing it down just enough to make it nice and awkward, a bit of a quirky approach to it. And now we're heading into this pistol round, Josh. Leviathan,
What do you mean,
against XZ, what gave them the edge. If they can take it away here, they would gain a sizable lead in the map.
Yeah, it would be massive. And you talk about Fnatic potentially struggling to deal with the pace. This one looks quick. They have the Neon, they're going to bombard Dish with
Set
stuns.
up for it, isn't it?
And it's only Durka over on A. It looks like a hard read from Boaster, stacking 4 players on the B side of the map. And he's starting to move away now that they haven't heard anything. And it's purely a contact push, but they are going to be unleashing once they hit drop.
Contacting all
Hey,
the way.
Emerson,
Not even worried about a player who could be just watching that angle. Holding the stun, and there you go. Finally, they let it rip. Fast lane drop down. Durka can't even react. I think there was a flash there, potentially a knife even, so that Durka wasn't able to get back to safety. Something ended up giving Shy the assist for that one, but now with horse control gained, even a player going down upon to drop. A very nice post-plant situation that they've set themselves up into.
I think Takolia knows that Enzo is on the flank here. Perhaps not. He has smoked off the trademark, but may have had a ping of it early on.
Oh, yeah.
So Enzo could be the playmaker here. He's got a timing.
It could be massive. Okay, bit of a ghost moment, but secures it. Just needs to get another one easily enough with the pressure that his team is applying. Already half on the defuse and his utility. Look at this one. The kills flooding in for them. Halfway, they need to try and disrupt it, but it's just stuck all the way down.
Grabe, nanalo pa
Enormous
sila.
play from Boaster, making sure that they get on that as the rest of his team pushes forward and engages Leviathan in a battle that means Boaster is just left, able to stick. But Leviathan are not going to give up here. Just because you win the pistol doesn't mean you really won the pistol. We're going to have a battle in round 2. Take a look at it from Boaster's perspective. He just manages to get half before the aftershock comes through.
He doesn't get that. It's looking a bit more brutal. They were really fighting over that one.
Grabe, sayang
Leviathan
yun.
are not giving up yet, just yet. They will not go quietly.
Forced straight into this one. The stunts sent across. Alpha watches the angle. Even the vulnerability was being applied.
Ba't sila
a little bit prior
nag-force?
to that one.
Ba't sila
Softened
nag-force?
them up enough.
Oh, and Enzo just got more than he bargained for opening that door.
I'm gonna refight this one.
I
There's a flash
guess
in the corner there, but
I've seen this the last
overstepped
Masters,
himself
when
once more.
they are able to
Timing
plant, they
it,
also
Durka,
force.
what a fight to take.
Wow, trying to swing off Taco's crosshair being broken to break the trademark.
It's really smart.
Trading his own trademark there. Now it's all down to just Shy and Malza. An overwhelmed run and gun down. This might have been the play that, again, Leviathan were unafraid to make, but it could be the play that allows Fnatic to regain control in the series, in the map.
We've seen Malza do some just ridiculous stuff.
Won't be this time.
Not this time, no. He's been clutch in the past,
But this is Alpha Year's map. The Des were talking about it, over 300 ACS. So far in this tournament, despite the fact it took him 10 rounds to find his first kill in the tournament, he was the only player positive against Paper X. He has over 150 ADR even before you look at his insane performance so
Ang cute
far.
nung balloon niya. His balloon is
He's
himself.
just been
His balloon
performing
is himself.
as
Ang
expected.
cute.
As you expected, this young, excellent talent would play against the other best teams in the world. He's found his footing for sure.
I love that as well. A comfortable Alpha Year. That LAN on the global stage really is that complete Fnatic. High expectations, but right now they've made it. Even in this map,
Meron palang wall sa
still
Valo.
favored
What
on
do
the
you
road,
mean?
forced Leviathan down to that eco because they ended up forcing into the prior round.
And it should be the first time that Fnatic takes the lead in the map. But should only go so far when you're dealing with these teams, with these players. Leviathan have been ultra clutch in some of these moments.
Molly rebounds, make sure nobody can swing, so the orb is going to be a freebie.
Fnatic have lost quite a bit of information. They don't know if there could be people contacting Dish. They have a bit of a passive hold towards Halls, even though there's 3 players there. And now the sight hit comes through on B.
Overdrive, double stunned up, make sure you get rid of that one. Durka though still being rewarded. Finds the 1 kill, and look at this passive positioning by Fnatic. Not willing to give them anything by overstepping themselves. The overdrive's going to be fading away soon enough. If Ursa wants to try and find his way into this close common angle, in fact he wants to take the fight straight to them. But again, Enzo deals with it easily enough. Takolia left down to 10 health. He's going to be rotating into B main, but he's smoked off. He's going to have to do something amazing But I think the footsteps, the sound cue.
Ah,
being watched,
wallhack.
obviously, Boast is fully in the
Meron.
know.
May wallhack na.
King can only watch as his team gets diffused again. It is another prime game in Flawless. And Fnatic take the lead in the map.
Wow.
And so many of these rounds, it seems like there is one moment.
Dumadami na
beginning of
actually
the
yung
round,
hackers
middle
sa
of the round,
Valorant.
late
yan.
round, whatever. There is
Aimbot,
a moment
wallhacks.
where Leviathan go
Ewan
for a high-risk, high-reward play, and it defines whether or not they have an advantage or can win the round. Adverso, the breach player, going forwards to try and take that duel.
I thought he was just going to hold a more passive angle of Jenny, but no, he took it one step further.
Yeah, they're always trying to make the play that will win the round. And it's on Fnatic to make sure that that play loses them the round instead.
Look at this aggression that's being played up towards Dish.
13-10. Sige,
being
tingnan natin
gained,
yung
but
prediction mo.
knowledge on either side. Arcade is being taken up, but no real positioning for Leviathan. And look at this, Fnatic running all the way behind them.
And this is different. They're gonna
Oh my goodness, they're going to be meeting right into the fray. The players colliding. Fnatic though across their placement. I knew exactly what they were going to be peeking into.
And it's Alpha Yeah again with a bulldog in hand, delivering the kills for Fnatic. Such a young player with so many expectations. Some of them unfair, given how little he'd had opportunity at the main stage, but wow, he is delivering on Fracture. That's the bonus round, and suddenly Fnatic are answering in the second half exactly how Leviathan opened with them.
And this round, I absolutely love the call that was being made there. The fast take of Dish, fast enough that they were running all the way deep behind to try and wrap around. He's going to be trying to make it expensive, but at the end of the day, the money situation is still good for Fnatic. But just to really hammer home, I think that they took that with such pace, and the timing was so awkward that, I mean, Leviathan, you could see, they were unaware. They had no idea those players were going to be coming to pincer them from behind.
And like I said, it's a little uncharacteristic for Fnatic. They're not usually going to be a team that reacts extremely quickly. And so once you take one side of the map, they're instantly sprinting out of Dish or, you know, going for a reactive play somewhere else. That isn't Boaster's mid-rounding style necessarily. We've seen it a lot from Benkai, for example, with PaperX, but, you know, sometimes even with FNS on Optic. Boaster normally likes the pace to be a little slower, a little more controlled. But when you throw it in occasionally, when you hit them with the fast play and your image is a slow team, wow, it caught Leviathan
So
completely off guard.
Yeah, they just thought it was a freebie. None of them were anticipating it. The crosshair placement wasn't there.
But the spray control.
Balo later, tapos na ako maglaro.
He's 20-9 so far. And we were having conversations about Durka using this tournament to potentially stake his claim as the best player in the world.
Sure.
He's not been bad. He absolutely hasn't been bad. But Alpha, yeah.
It's hard.
He's the star on this.
Absolutely. It's hard to put up the consistently high numbers when you're literally sharing a throne with another player on your team. He's also doing the heavy lifting. And when Alfie is in this form, I mean, this is what we wanted out of the guy watching him online.
Here's Boaster. He's got a better angle onto King, but King still wins it with a little readjustment.
Durka does answer back. I mean, that one kill is nice to have. Turns it back into the 4v4.
And Taco's going to be searching with his headhunter. Taco probing towards Halls and Sanders. King probes once again.
You're not ult this?
Enzo certainly is.
Okay. Yeah, Viper's pick going to be placed down onto A, but I'm looking at Adversa with this Rolling Thunder. They've done some crazy plays with this.
But Durka has mostly been playing towards Generator. You haven't seen Durka with his Rendezvous offline playing aggro positions so far.
Yeah.
He's very smartly playing around the aggression and playing retake a lot of the time. Spots where he can get spam damage perhaps. And he goes for a cheeky little peek there off the back of the aftershock, but retreats back with the rest of his team.
And this could still get dangerous. The Rolling Thunder, I knew it was coming. The aggressive play, Leviathan want to be taking it straight to them. They force out that showstopper. Alfie ended up pulling it out, trying to offload once more that aggression that was potentially going their way.
And it was the perfect tool to do it.
Back it away, a shot being taken still with his post plants. Look at the way Fnatic are clearing out B main now. Tower, so well drilled, but yes, they have to watch out for that backside area. Still on half on the defuse. The Brim Molly's dropped down, but time has been gained from that play alone. Melza off to the side, Tackleer as well, the crossfire. They all come tumbling down.
And it's another one of those awesome, thrifty rounds that Leviathan put together. Awesome play. I mean, a fantastic post plant. Really looking to get aggressive in the post plant as well. If Alvia hadn't popped his showstopper, King was about to send it through the smoke at Generator. I don't know whether that would have won them or lost them the round, but these shots from Taco make the difference.
So low when he's making it. Both of these players so incredibly low with half on the defuse. I mean, so easily winnable for Fnatic. You can feel the frustration there on Mini's face.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I think it was King and Melson doubling up at tower that helped. Sure. Althea takes a fight early on as well. The flash is there.
Does he get one?
But trades 1 for 1.
I mean, the guy was overwhelmed there. So many players in his face still. Another 4v4 scenario.
And while that's going on, while there's so much aggression over a dish, Taco wanted to go for some kind of reactive push, chose not to, and is now just watching Halls. But it's the chamber on the other side, Durka, going for walkabouts here.
Oh, pushing so deep.
And essentially, if he just holds this angle, he's containing all of these players.
Yeah, they know they're at the dish area, the drop area.
He's going very
This is so aggressive. I mean, he doesn't have his rendezvous set up as well to get out.
No, I don't think Durka needs to be doing this, but he might win them the round.
Watching it. The jiggle pick, the elbow. Enzo's still dealt with this one though as Taco goes down. He was lurking through Halls, but it's a fast play. Durka is punished.
And there's the punish for the overflank, and what that means is now the door opens for Leviathan. They can pivot back through Arcade, and Boaster has to scramble, moving back towards Generator, attempting to see if he can pick off a rotate.
It's a difficult ask, isn't it? No command dropped through, but
He's going for it.
Yeah, the smoke was dropped. The orbital strike! Boaster just wanders into it!
What a mistake, what a blunder.
Oh, no, no, no. Spike now being planted, it's down to Mystic
9-9.
and Enzo. But the positioning, I mean, it just can't get through any of these smokes. A slight gap, it gives the angle shot, moves forwards. Still wants to take it. Swinging wide onto the site, into the pocket. That's going to be the snake bite. Forces the positioning and the aftershock. The utility is good, but you need your guns out. And finally, they find them. The kills going their way. Mel's with this off angle, though. To the side, the swing is there. The trade, perfect from Mystic.
And that's the Mystic you want to see. Great for the trade, closing out the rounds, and saving a situation that Fnatic almost threw away.
8-10.
Once Takolia dies and Durka has them contained, that should be the
Grabe,
round
ang
over.
ganda. Na-convert pa nila yun.
I think Durka overstepping, and Boaster just didn't honestly realize that he was being brimmelted there, I think. He had a safe pocket, but lacked the situational awareness to realize where exactly the brimmel had been thrown.
But Fnatic did salvage it, you can feel that.
Squeaky bum time.
Ooh.
And Fnatic take a 2-round lead in this.
Yeah.
But it's never safe, and their economy doesn't
Time
look
out.
that great.
Walang water.
Durka
Time
with the
out.
tour de force though, so this should be one of the most pivotal rounds that they're heading into. And Leviathan take a timeout to talk with Coach Bertoni.
What to do in this situation?
One of the coaches, in fact, that was previously on Crew, when Crew went on their run at Champions, knocking Fnatic out of the quarterfinals too. You know, this team has that experience in the coaching staff.
Yeah.
You know, we have the considerations about LATAM as a region, and you know that'll lump Leviathan in with Crew sometimes, even though they are very different teams. But part of that is because they share the same kind of coaching staff. They share a similar vibe where you feel like they're never out, that they could go for a crazy run.
These independent plays that the players are willing to pull out as well.
And who would have thought Leviathan would be neck and neck, essentially, on Fnatic's map pick, on a map that they barely ever play.
They barely play it.
Even if Leviathan lose this map, they should still be feeling great about Ascent and Bind.
Yeah, this map pool it's looking spicy. I think the deeper it's going to get into the series, but map 1 not over yet. Stun off to the side is going to be supplemented again. A fast push on either side, actually. Leviathan trying to take space in Arcade, but this tree area has been pushed out by Fnatic, and they've gained a lot of space from it. I think Alfie might be even posted up on a high ground angle that can pierce all the way down into the other side of Halls, if he is satchelled up onto the box like I think he is.
Leviathan choosing not to use any utility over here at Dish. And last time Durka got punished by the aggression, this time punished by Takolia.
Oh. Takolia not going to be overextending, doesn't want to try and take the potential fight.
And the trademark being down means that Leviathan can creep ever closer, and now they explode.
Straight away.
Can Enzo do anything? A spam kill would be huge.
Fast lane, the stuns. Takolia still watching that one angle and then immediately sends Fnatic scattered all the way back, running away.
This is a save round.
Yeah. The calls made almost instantaneous.
DRX at FPX
Enzo
ba?
Mystic gonna
Sorry,
be able to
akala
drop
ko
some
ngayon na
players.
din yung grand.
So Fnatic do
Ay, yung
have
upper
the economy
finals.
to die. But Leviathan's contact pushes up through Dish have been slaughtering Fnatic. When Durka tried to anchor, King ran him over. When Durka's looking for an info peek, he doesn't have a player. So if Durka's playing with somebody else, maybe they can stun him onto the angle, flash him onto the angle, use some piece of utility to help Durka get on the line and force Taco back off of it. That's how you get advantages in these op battles. But Durka's completely alone, just holding holes there. And that allows the rest of Fnatic to be more flexible with their positioning. They can put players over towards B, but when these dish pushes or these A crunches happen, Fnatic look a little weak. It was Enzo's anchoring that was saving them in a lot of the EMEA games we watched. But he hasn't been playing that A position outside of the rounds where he has Viper's Pit online.
Even almost when it comes to that round scoreline. The second half has been, you can see just from there, Fnatic have been in control of most of these rounds, but it feels like Leviathan have started to pick apart. Bit of a weakness, something that they can send flying in there. The counter flash out here, pushed away, now the Rolling Thunder. They're going to try and capitalize, but the Fnatic player is just too slow.
I think that's a big.
King baits it out, and it's a complete wraparound. The instantaneous pivot.
And again, it's only Durka on B. Can he grab a kill and rendezvous away? He's set up nicely for it.
A stun into the side, it's going to be rebounding back and forth. Durka's still there, holds the angle. And the disrespect shown, doesn't want to teleport away. The rest of his teammates finally getting into position to follow up. Tower's still being fought over, but Adverso wins it.
He's delaying though, and the rotates have come through. The plant tapped for a moment to see what the reaction would be, and the spam punished.
Yep.
Gorgeous flash.
Post has been spamming through these smokes quite often. Maybe a bit of an adaptation.
Absolutely.
On the fly. These teams are just slowly getting used to one another. Back and forth, down to Ento and Alpha here. Now just Alpha yet.
Has to do it all. The Fnatic player has been stepping up massively, but a 1v3 with these post-plant positions would be so hard.
Finds one.
Taco gifts it to him.
Hey up. Where's the crossfire here? Where's the setup?
Shy with a good reposition, back towards Generator.
Back towards Jenny. It is looking
GG.
truly unwinnable for Alpha here with the positions that were being played there. And that is going to mean this map now going even once more, 10-10, being the scoreline.
What a performance that Leviathan are putting up.
I know.
And also, again, never afraid to make the play that can win the round. And this time it's Shy. So Adverso taps the spike, trying to bait out utility, aftershock, nade, whatever. But also, it is going to bait out spam, designed to try and punish him for getting onto the plant. And as soon as Boaster falls, there's no smokes. You can't stop Tacolia taking those angles from top stairs. The retake becomes infinitely more difficult without Boaster's utility.
I thought heading into this series as well, Fnatic, having gone up against PaperX, I thought that they would have been tempered almost by the speed and aggression. That is the essentially requirement to keep up with the way and pace that PaperX play. Should set them up, I think, in terms of being able to play against the more independent style of a lot of the individual players of Leviathan. But so far, I think this is a game where the teams are just trying to get that grip on how each other is playing.
But they're both making some beautiful adaptations.
They are.
I think the way that Fnatic approached the beginning of this half as well, and very nice, but now they're letting it slip. And it's almost a mirror between these two teams. The defending team racks up a bunch of rounds early on in the half, and then slowly the attackers are figuring a way around it. And Fnatic have been going for so many of these 4-1 defensive splits. Look at the minimap again, it's Durka alone over at Tower. And I think Leviathan are starting to read this. They are going to be able to barrel into B. Even if they lose a player, they're getting a free plant down, and they can play post plants, which they've been excellent at. Not going for the level of pace though.
Ang dami lagi
Just a flash to push them up onto the angle.
Grabe yung fake nila sabi, uy.
And now the contact comes through.
Leviathan have not been scared to go for these contact plays either. Normally, I would not like it. Durka often with the operator in his hands, but now reduced only to a judge. His job simply to hold tower control for as long as possible.
Leviathan are so grouped up. There's the four of them, just holding these positions, making sure that they make no noise, no sound cues to give away and reveal any information that Fnatic might be able to use. But I believe what is that? The trade might be broken. Yeah.
Trade might broken, but Leviathan anticipating some kind of rotate are heading back over to Halls.
No prior control of it gained as well.
Alpha yeah was tucked in cubby and now is starting to move away.
Boy.
They're worried about some kind of push from drop.
Earlier in the round, Enzo does have this open. Pop flash through. Has to just backpedal and spam away. But the flash, that's a counterplay. The utility from Fnatic there. It helps him out.
Nice.
Ensures that he can at least get a couple, but somehow
3v3.
Shy's ended up with
3v3.
2. Another flash play, no, just the sides against it. The fragment stops them from just trying to push through these smokes. Blocking the way now with just 12 seconds remaining. The spike has to get planted.
Shy's looking to try and punish somebody who's going aggressive again.
Flash
Here's
over
the flash
top.
over.
And there's Enzo's position. It was known he didn't get himself out of the kill. Now down to just tackle Leah. But the weapon he's got is good. Rick is still only working with the judge and his head and bullets. We'll see if the positioning can be played. A bit of a bait there. You can see just jumping poster, trying to make them think that he has dropped down. Finally now space being taken, but the damage. 10 HP on tackle Leah, and he cannot win it out. Poster the IGL steps up in the moment
Ano
of
na
need.
rank mo? Alam mo, sa
Huge
totoo lang,
clutch for
muntik
Boaster
na
to
ako
win.
mag-plat
And he
3.
has been one of the better clutches for Fnatic
Tapos
in this tournament.
nagkamali ako mag 5 man.
They haven't
Every
had to pull out many of
laban
these
namin
big
sa
late
5
rounds
man
in
may
the same way
Smurf.
that
Tapos
Leviathan
na-demote
have.
ulit ako sa
But that
plat
one
1.
is so important. I think they got the worst end of the round from a strategical point of view. Leviathan managed to pop in there, and it's just a little unlucky. I think a bit of a team flash saved Enzo and allowed him to continue having impact in the rounds.
Gave credit to Mystic at the time.
Yeah, but I think that was just a tiny bit of a team flash through the smoke that caused chaos over at Sand. What a moment for Boaster to remain calm. Fnatic are 1 round away from that map point.
Let's play.
Love for that to be the case. Boomwat up close. Overdrive now. The damage. Oh, it was done to Alpha here, but still, this guy feels like he's getting overwhelmed constantly, but still comes up with the kills.
Look at the fast flank though. Mystic, Durka pushed out of tree instantly, and they are so quick here.
Oh, knife out from Malta. Oh, he thinks it's just freeload. Guardian, no, that's not a rifle still. Gets the kill, does the job. Flash to try and reclear. Shy up close and personal. Flash over the top now, but right round the side. Just finding his way around Durka. A bit of a bait with the movement. Mystic just tries to jiggle it, but they push through the adaptation from Leviathan. They move into the defender's spawn.
And Fnatic were ready for it, but they just couldn't make it happen. Mystic's already won a 1v2 this tournament, but it will not be the second.
That was just...
Tackle Leah takes him out.
He was stunned up
Ang
there.
sarap nung...
Yeah.
Ano,
Absurd
sabi ko,
play.
ano, plat...
Absurd.
Muntik ako mag-plat
Leviathan
3. Parang
tackle
one
at first of
win
finding
away.
the kills
Tapos
to save the round there
nag 5
after
man.
Fnatic's fast flank
Nagkamali
hold
ako kasi
finds
nag
the
5 man
goods.
kami.
And Fnatic
Tapos
were waiting
kada
for it. They
game
had a
lagi may
player
Smurf
drop.
dun
They
sa
had a
5 man.
player
Tapos
in their own
na-restrict ako
spawn
hanggang plat 1 ulit.
waiting for that push, and they still lost the duels. Sometimes you can make all the
Buhat
right
na ako po,
decisions,
di ko kaya magbuhat.
but you need to still hit the shots. And that's where Leviathan have been able to find their success. Making a run so far in the lower bracket, or somewhat of one. And here's
Ano na
another
rank
fight
mo?
over towards Dish as King. Alpha, yeah, clash once more.
The weapons are not good for Fnatic. They should not be favored in these fights, especially when the bodies are just running towards them. That player advantage that Leviathan have been relying on over and over and over again. It's down to Enzo. Sheriff in his hand, has to anchor it, but only finds the 1 kill. And Durka forced to retake. To bind a judge into these rounds, but what can you do? Well, the Caterpillar strap, why not? Bit of coverage in play, picks up the weapon, drops it down again. Verso, utility out in his hands. Does he know this reposition? They suspect it. The aftershocks there, with just a slight angle. Being watched by Shy.
Oo, man, good to daya sana. Kaya
point
lang.
for Leviathan. Map point for
Kainis
Leviathan.
talaga
On a
mga
map
Smurf.
they've never played before with this roster. Up against Fnatic. One of the all-time
Wow,
great
12,
teams
11.
on Fracture.
Just absurd.
It
Just
is.
absurd, isn't it?
Fnatic thought they were punishing them with this pick. No, okay, we won't go for Bind, which might be the better overall pick. We'll go for Fracture.
Decider
Punish
yung
Leviathan for leaving it open. And Leviathan are ready. They were so ready.
Gold 1.
It's a scrappy Bind.
Sus,
now from
yung
Fnatic to
skill
try
mo
and
naman
keep
pang
this one
plat pa
alive.
din. Naglalaro ka pa ba lagi?
Pulling together the pocket change to see if they can get anything done. Stuns,
Ikaw nga
stuns
magbubuhat
out
sa akin
here,
pag
trying to
nagduo
set him up,
tayo.
but it's just overwhelming every single time. This dish fight
Kailan ka ba
has
lalaro?
been a common key throughout this entire series.
And even with Boaster throwing in the orbital strike, it wasn't able to do a thing. The Fnatic players that have tried to stand their ground have been run over. And Enzo's going to go for his mid-round Viper's Pit, as he is wont to do in a lot of these situations. But Leviathan, the map is open for them. they can pivot.
Grind
In a
pataas tayo.
5v4 situation, the defense is so spread out, so thin. And the Viper's Pit doesn't control an area like Hall.
Hi,
It's
Haven.
very safe.
Wow, you're named after the map.
The way that these
Baka
Leviathan
best map mo
players
yan.
are maneuvering around the map now, Josh. All of them grouped up, heading towards B.
1 month ako
One player
nakahiwalay sa PC kaya
to try
pangalan
and
ko.
block it.
Uy!
Find the
Whoa!
angle! What a play to make!
It is the
Tour de
collat.
force in
It
hand.
is the
Collateral
collat.
Shuts it down. And the rendezvous to safety. And ult for that, a 20-second ability, why not?
And with 30 seconds left, all of these Leviathan players are now channeled back into end zone.
Panood ko na yung grind pataas.
He doesn't really have any
Talaga
assistance.
ba?
We'll hear the door opening. And Fnatic scrambling to go and assist him.
Danas ko yan kasi 1 month pa lang ako hiwalay sa...
Oh,
sayang!
Uy,
Spike! Spike!
It's chaos! It's carnage enacted here.
Oh.
Enzo makes sure to clean up the scraps. The players that were just trying to
5, 4, no more time.
All up to, Durka Pryor in this round. With that one play he made, he bought the time necessary for them to bring it to OT.
Grabe
You want to
OT,
play from
uy!
Durka? You want him to showcase the talent, the
Dapat
read on the
best
game
map
that
ko
he's
yung
got?
Haven. Got my first ace
there's
there.
one for you.
Ooh, nice
He's
too.
playing against an orbital strike here. He can't just hide in tower. And he just picks the perfect timing. The perfect timing to peek with the Tour de
Oh.
Force. Gets both.
Lifesaver, anong lifesaver ni Mystic? Napahawak siya sa... Apa, uy.
Head to OT.
I was not expecting it map one. Maybe you
Grabe yung
could
kaba.
convince me
Ano ka
a
pag
cent.
pro, pag di ka,
Okay, yeah,
ano
sure.
pang pro,
Overtime
tapos dinala ka dun. Tapos pag
Why
OT,
did
ganyan yung
Leviathan
tugtog.
Go for Bind instead of Haven, surely they have a plan. Maybe it'll go OT there. But Fracture, map one heading to overtime already here. Bonkers.
No one wants to go home.
Three
No one
players
wants to
early
go
on over towards
home.
Bridge, and King chooses not to challenge them. Instead, pushing underneath. Is Durka ready for it? Is Durka watching?
Look what's their placement of King. It's so narrow.
Boom!
Now, but the angle being
Dead.
watched. Durka tries to swing into
Ang
it.
ganda ng
Bit
ano?
of a crouch
Ang ganda ng
disrupted.
microflick ni King. Nag-crouch
Was
siya
certainly
pero
ready.
headshot
He
pa
just
din.
couldn't win the duel.
Tackle here with the off. Stun will mean that this angle, you cannot be disrespecting this one still. A jiggle. He hasn't moved away to flash eventually. They're having to use
It's the
everything at
shoulder
their
piece.
disposal to push him out of that angle.
Just playing as the utility sponge. Trying to draw as much as possible out of Fnatic. Forcing them to fight and pay for every inch.
Ba't nag-end live sige? Nag-crash yung Valorant.
Fnatic are aware that there's an operator on the field. It adds that extra worry, I think.
Naghang yung PC ata. Yung whole PC niya.
Normally when you're a player down, a lot
Kaya
of teams, they will default to those
nagdiretso
contact
yan.
plays, but dangerous to do that when you're up against that sniper.
Taco hasn't made the reposition though.
Walang
Shy that
shield
takes
si
first
Taco.
contact. Nade
Oo,
used,
kasi
but with
overtime.
only one flash left in the
Ang
round.
maa-afford mo lang talaga sa overtime ay operator na it's like
Control of
full
this
off
one,
lang.
Melzer. Oh, he's fallen.
Wala kang
What a
pang
play.
armor.
And out for you. Skip it a hop. The Sancho play to kills just
Woohoo!
Awesome round from Fnatic. As they push in, the aftershock from Mystic forces Shy to make a decision. And he chooses the aggressive option. Gets destroyed by the utility.
What has been coming down into these rounds, Josh, when they Fnatic are at that player disadvantage? It's been the utility that's carried them forwards.
It really has. Especially coming out from Mystic, and I think the awareness to punish, to just hold for an extra moment, because you know Leviathan are going to try and make that extra play.
Oh, nice try.
Shut that one out. Yep. Only losing Durka right at the beginning of the round. Ever since then, easily handled.
Match point.
That puts Fnatic
Ang ganda ng
onto map
explosion.
point.
Ang ganda ng explosion ng Fnatic.
The first one that they've had access to.
The spam. Ang ganda, sarap ng spam nila sa
Players that are
smoke.
trying to
Grabe.
push through the smokes. Leviathan are pushing through every smoke. And I think it took a while for Fnatic to realize that. But now they're holding on.
And that's that back and forth, Josh. You look at the round history. These teams just seem to have a grip on the way that each
Ang
other's
dami
playing.
nating ang daming lineup sa Viper no. Eh, tapos yun, naka-full smoke lang yung ano nila, oh. Yung hall. Walang one way.
First time bridge crunch for Fnatic, pushing heavily out of dish here. And they break the trademark instantly. Does Taco have a response off the back of that? No, just holding the angle still.
This before, you remember, when they were on the weaker buy prior.
Yeah.
They did end up coming up with a good stem, but no players.
But that one to me felt reactive. It was because they'd heard so much in
Sure.
Arcade. This time it was just straight off the rip.
Yeah.
Fnatic just decided to send it no matter what. And now these players back off.
difference.
Oh, a bit of a sound bait.
Yeah.
Trying to get Leviathan to peek, to push, thinking that they've got a timing. And Enzo quietly creeps back forwards, a bit of a jiggle, but nobody being found. What patience, what a shift in the tempo from Leviathan. And maybe they will get a fish on the end of the hook.
Seconds left in a round though, Josh. It's dangerous when you play it like this.
Has Enzo caught the timing, or have they caught him?
Oh my goodness, it's not being watched. It's not being watched.
Oh my.
Smoke's dropped down. He can hear the players making movements towards main. Enzo, everything on the line, but this is awkward now. He has to try and overextend into this one, but Durka still is going to steal that kill away from him.
Wild.
Positioning gained. All the players have wrapped around into halls.
King heard a shot
patay to
from
si
this
Enzo.
direction, but no kill. And now you've got an odd duel in the middle of the round. The King wins. 10 seconds left, going for the plant. Boaster with a, Althea with a nade. But he chooses not to invest. They're just going to go for the 4v3
Sayang yun,
retake.
yung
This
muntik
one
na
for the
talaga yung
map.
timing ni Enzo dun eh.
Mistakes were made into this one. Tackle, you cannot be telling me you're pushing into the smoke. It's being smashed
Ay.
out. They expect no scope. Flicks it to the side. He can't return
Ayun
it again, but Durka
lang.
with 4.
Ayun
Looking for the
lang.
ace. Looking to secure the map for his team. Molly dropped down. They know the positioning of Melza. And as soon as it starts to dissipate, player gets onto it, triple facing it up.
Impossible.
Unwinnable forward. Eventually fading it away, and that is going to be the round. Going to Fnatic. That is going to be the map. Going to Fnatic.
Grabe yun, nabalik.
Little shake of the head there for Mystic towards
Wow,
the end. I'm
Fnatic
not sure what the emotions are
brought
gonna look like
that
for Fnatic
back.
there. I'm sure. Thrilled that they ended up winning that one in a tight OT. But take a step back, Brent. That was supposed to be the map that was the most dominant.
Oh. You can see the reactions.
They're calm. They avoided a disaster.
Naka-short na
You
naman si
might even
Boaster.
say that Leviathan had to win this series 2-0, considering what we know about them on Bind. But this series is not going to be over. If Leviathan can bring this kind of level to Fracture, they can bring it to the rest of the maps as well. Sure. I think we're seeing a different beast compared to the data that you look at from them in LATAM.
I think these are the teams that are the most dangerous. We've seen it so many times in the global events. Fnatic are going to take that early lead in this series, but when you have a team that they've already achieved their goals, they've got their champions placement, at this point the pressure's off their shoulders. Fnatic are the ones that are expected to be in the finals.
And the two players that are expected to perform on Fnatic the most are Althea and Durka, and they're right up at the top of the scoreboard for this map. There were moments, of course, where Durka ended up getting overwhelmed, but in the crucial OT situations, Durka comes up with a 4K towards the end, trading players out, winning duels exceptionally, and Althea was pretty much rock solid the whole time, just suffering from similar things where the tempo or a crazy push through the smoke ended up being too much, but this series is going to continue to deliver.
It's heating up. Josh, what portion of your soul did you sell to give us these series? I mean, we're just getting ridiculous matches. Going to go to a short break. Our analyst desk breaking down all the action, setting us up for that crucial map number 2. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
Yung memory foam pala sa Secret Love is magnetic. 2 minutes. I think we can aim lab. That's that much. That much. 2 minutes. Let us that much.
Match found.
Since 2 minutes pa. Quit agad tayo. Quit sa that much.
Oh, you like the boy with
Aray ko po. Ano the hits ko kay Astra? Outro na babalik again sa Prosim for LCQ. Saan galing yan? Saan galing yung info na yan? What the whiffing? Bro, I see you. Bro! That's actually sad. Honestly, the drop shadow on the timer is one of the best changes sa Valorant. Nasa na tutok ko, oy. Wala na akong tutok. Best pa.
Okay, I only have like 78 grenades left. Hopefully that's
Fight!
Come on, go!
Si Chamber. I actually hate na wala akong tutok. Bro!
Sky's out!
Am I lagging? Parang delay.
Got him.
No, not really. Ano rank nyo? Ito. Bro, where the heck is my tutok?
Stuff.
Thickness. They're not even qualified. They're not even qualified for LCQ. I know Team Secret is, but they're not. San galing yung info? San galing yung info mo? Like, who told you?
Jet's grounded.
Why is my scope on? Why is my scope? That is luck. That is not luck. Okay. The first one was pure luck. The second one was definitely not. Bro.
Jet's grounded.
Why is he holding shift? The Viper, bro. Literally no sound. Lurking in that match.
Grounded. Got one.
Bro is on.
Jet's grounded.
He's coming back for me. No, he's not.
Sky's out. Precision kill.
kills remaining.
The Viper is winning by holding shift. I cannot believe it. Actually lurking. I am so exposed on. I was so worried this about that one.
Jet's grounded.
5 kills remaining.
What? Wow, either crowd spring or looking.
One kill remaining.
The crouch. Oh, only second. Only second.
Trophy, right?
I hate this game. Why? What happened?
Brenda's
What are you talking about? What are you talking? I'll give it all up. I'll give it all up. Listen, let's go the distance of this one. Ascent is the map here. Elimination and all on the line right now for Leviathan, isn't it, Josh?
I've got to echo Yinsu's point. I think especially when you're playing against a triple initiator comp, you've got to try and get those rounds on the defensive side. And that's where Fnatic are starting here. So if Althea is going to be playing the Sage, they've got to start strong. The pistol rounds have been back and forth so far in this series. Though Leviathan have shown us an ability to play fantastically when they pull
I
them
have
out
no
of the
aim.
set. So,
No
a lot
way.
of
What's your
this
rank?
series is going to come down to this first half, I think.
And I'm expecting as well. I mean, the Althea Sage pick, it was kind of a bit of a response, I think, to try and plug some of the holes that might be in a defensive side. A lot of lurks that would be in element when you're on your defensive side. You can put up a wall if it doesn't get broken in the
Runs
mid-round.
3.
Then you get
It's
to get away with a
okay.
little bit more.
You're about to
in
get
that kind of fashion.
silver.
It's more to try and help them with the retakes, but you might see adjustments still being made from one side to the next. At the end of the day, this is, in my opinion, the best map that we've seen out of Leviathan over the course of this tournament.
Nice 0 point from King. Stops Durka from playing in wide, which was exactly where Durka was trying to get to. Bit of a drone down mid, but I think this is all going to end up being a fake. They're making it feel like a B split, and instead, these players are all going to group up towards Catwalk. You can see where the spike is headed. But of course, Fnatic can't.
Gotta make sure you don't make too many noise cues.
And in fact, the spike is leaving, so maybe they want to commit to this B split.
Althea is reclearing B main.
Whoa!
Breaks the
Melzer
trade
is
mark.
so deep here.
Obviously on top of his wall here in the mid
They're
round,
going
so
B,
that's going to be able to block off.
and the
any
rest
sort
of the
lurk that
team
might
is
have happened.
going
It
A.
seems like a strange
Yeah,
one,
one
honestly,
in
from
spawn.
Leviathan.
Melzer
I'd like to
hears
see them
this.
prod Catwalk and break a trademark over there if they wanted to return back to B. But they're trying to catch the timing on Althea's wall going down.
Yeah.
They can contact all the way up to the wall, and as soon as it breaks, bang, they can head through it.
It's on the break now, but already some pieces being placed. You can see that's Boaster's smoke, anticipating that it's going to be going down.
30
But
seconds
they don't
Fnatic look
have
ready
a lot
for this
here.
time.
They do look ready, but Boaster's not ready for the lurk. Through into mid. Melzer with the backstab. Takes him out.
Grabe,
Alright,
Melzer has
Boaster's
been
gonna
there
do
the
it.
whole
Bit
round.
to dissuade this push and push them back. The horn has to be dealt with. Players still not deep.
And
into
they
the
know where
side
the horn
Althea.
is gonna
An
land.
Opportunity to go absolutely huge, but he is taken care of. Kills flooding in right now for Leviathan. Spike even going to be planted, so no more pressure when it comes to the time. And Melzer
Flawless.
just keeping that positioning, that containment as well into mid.
It's trivial, Brad.
There
Trivial.
it is.
A prime gaming flawless to start things off.
Ano na,
Once more,
RR
these
mo.
pistol rounds
Sobrang
just look
3.
excellent from Leviathan.
The bread and butter.
As soon as they actually
Do you
commit
want me
the
to play
hit,
your account?
everything's working perfectly. And this play, Melzer comes out of astral form and just gets a kill delivered to him. 3 on the round, by the way, including
10
that
seconds
one.
left.
A huge pick onto
enemy remaining.
Durka. And we saw Melzer go unbelievable beast mode.
I mean, he went stupid.
On Ascent.
He went stupid, he went dumb. He went crazy.
He went dumb, silly, ultra stupid.
The guy was a clutch monster.
He had, over the course of the series against Xset, wait a second, this one might get a little dangerous.
Yeah.
But Melza had a 1v1, 4 1v2s, and 1 1v4. Those are absurd stats. Melza was clutching out of control. And if he's feeling himself again today, if he remembers that ability to have impact, Fnatic are going to be in trouble.
Yeah, pulling around back from the brink of defeat.
I have the spike.
But prior, I mean, we all saw it. Durka taking the head off of Adverso means they're set up for quite a nasty advantage, I think. And the players of Fnatic starting to run their way back over towards A. They expect this to be the A pop now. Could get dangerous for Leviathan. The smoke's dropped. That's going to be a haunt used.
Oh, there's 4 people A.
They can clear their way through, but that deep smoke onto the site, it really does disrupt this take. Leviathan, though, with the better weapons, able to run forwards and find their marks. Bosa still wants to hide inside of it, but a bit of jumping, running, and gunning to do the job.
Oh, Durka had an opportunity there to pick off Takulia, who just decided to adjust his tie on top of the generator. But Leviathan picked that one up fairly cleanly. 3 players staying alive, 3 Spectres into the next round. And we saw the bonus rounds. You know, Leviathan have some ideas.
They do.
With a lot of aggression. And there are ways that you can make it work on this map. You can chain a lot of utility while you go for a B split. The DRX have showcased that. Leviathan have brought it out once before as well.
It's pretty clear to me, I think, Leviathan are that kind of team where they put a lot of stock into trying to get that pistol round win, trying to convert the bonus.
But this one looks like a slower defaulting round.
Yeah.
And Fnatic are trying to fight B main very heavily.
Trademark's destroyed, and already they can clear that up with the Prowler. No players holding close.
Yeah, and the Fnatic players are choosing to react, push out of B main instead.
No way is King going to be just flashing into this one.
Oh,
The players out.
And the push from Enzo and Althea didn't work either. B main, looking
wow.
Like pinched.
What a bonus strat.
Absolute pinch play.
What a bonus strat. The
2
spike.
players left standing for Fnatic. Rotation's obviously being heard, but the okay. Angles watched.
And Mystics lost.
This is just going to be an impeccable bonus round converted.
A perfect one for Leviathan. They break the trademark instantly, go fast down mid, and Takulia's there ready to punish any kind of reactive aggression.
Yeah, let's see why they chose this and this is their map pick.
Their game plan was good, they understood what the reaction should be from Fnatic, and they neutralized it. Completely in control here, Leviathan.
Fnatic are a
26
team where,
RR.
looking at ascent on this map, obviously the expectations are it's Leviathan's best map.
Can Iron...
Hunted down, but
you heard from
I
Bara
forgot
on the
what
desk
rank
saying
she
that,
was in.
you know, he still thinks Fnatic have some decent chances on this map overall.
I mean, I would
Can
agree with that. I really
Iron...
would. I mean, in the last 4
well,
times
Iron
they've
what?
played it, I mean, these stats are
I
going to
forgot.
almost prove counter to it, but Fnatic have won once, lost 3
Iron
times
2, I
when it
think.
comes to
Can
this in the
Iron
last
2
4 times they've played
play
it.
with
But
Bronze 3?
2 of those losses coming right down to the wire, really, in a very close fashion.
Yeah, they're always playing...
Very winnable.
They're always playing great teams on Ascent, very close. But this is a pretty terrible beginning. In exactly the same manner.
26 RR. Are you popping off? Are you popping off in bronze?
Yeah. One team wins
And you're
pistol,
just getting
wins
yelled
bonus,
back
and
by
goes
your
up to a
team?
4-0
Is that
lead.
it?
At least assuming Leviathan are able to convert this massive economy advantage.
Bit of spam in play to Haunt as well. Althea has to respect it. Running back to the rest of his team. Later Haunt from Enzo there. Doesn't catch onto any players, so information going to be gained that no one's really playing within that vicinity once more. And it is Leviathan just making sure that they can slow this down. Don't give any unnecessary advantages to Fnatic.
There's 3 in mid going for a push here from Fnatic. Durka leading the way with his headhunter. But I don't think he's going to spot anybody. Melza might check it just for a moment.
What?
I like this.
But it seems like everybody else is threading their way into
Smoke
A.
this trade.
Look at the map!
You're going to hear it. And the positioning's known. How does he get the smoke off? It's right
Oh,
up
now
there.
I know why
Has to
it's
be
in the middle.
Precise. While all this is going on, by the way, Leviathan working their way into A. Drone their way in.
Good
I love this. I love this from Fnatic. Now this approach from the back, it should net them a kill.
Spike planted.
1 kill perhaps, but I think as soon as Leviathan realize there are many players pushing here, they can take tree control or
And
push
they're aware.
heaven.
They're aware that it could have been smoked off.
Whoa, what a peek!
Why is that? Bit of a Ferrari swing from Durka. Probably going to be taken care of. At least latching onto the face of Durka still. Takulia with a tour de force. Damage done On top of the wall, Alfia wants to try and
Na
take it from
headshot
the
siya,
high
pero
ground.
Sheriff
Approach that
only.
one angle, a bit of a jiggle. They know that he's there, pre-firing the spot. Just a pixel being held. Haunt off to the side, still broken, and Fnatic, well, taking these fights still with the slow field. Drop down at their feet,
3v3.
fire kill. They just can't get into the site.
Oh,
Have to
that's
play
sad.
to die to the spike here, just a bit of a percentage play.
And while it is decent damage, Leviathan's economy is through the roof. Yeah. Melza, Shy, King, they're all sat with 6,000 credits pretty much.
What'd you call it the other day? Generational wealth?
Yeah,
Generational
wealth is what Leviathan is sitting with right now. The actual 1% of Valorant. But Fnatic have an opportunity to respond, and this is where we've seen both teams clap back on the prior map. Map 5, they stopped the momentum happening, halted it in its tracks, and were able to right the ship. So that's why Fnatic are currently taking their time out to ensure that it doesn't go any further. Durka and Alfia have both been hitting some nasty shots so far. You might not see it on the kill feed, but Alfia swung and instantly dinked Takolia for 145 and then finished off the kill. Durka's been finding some picks too. It's not necessarily the picks that have been the problem or the form of the Fnatic players so far, but Leviathan have got a great game plan of how they want to approach these attack rounds. And Brent, I keep going back.
No strat ano sen. Ang ganda ng bonus.
Defensive rounds with this composition have to be higher. You're not running a duelist. The attack side rounds are still going to be decent. Don't get me wrong. But on defense, where Alfia can have such an impact on the Sage, you've got to be able to halt the triple initiator comps. It's not a crazy attack-sided comp. In fact, the triple initiator is going to cause them issues defending.
Actually, triple initiators.
The triple initiator
Kinda hard.
is going to cause Fnatic issues attacking into it.
This timeout. Purpose of it, obviously.
What do you think will win this series? I want Fnatic to win.
And this would be the purpose of it. What adjustments they need to make. And it seems like they're moving Alfia over towards the A side. Want to play Durka up in a aggressive angle to tour de force. That's popped off, so looking to see if they can hold that B main control just with the ultimate in play. But this is, again, fast approach.
I love it.
Seen this a couple of times actually from Leviathan, but this time they're pivoting into Cat, looking for the A split.
They're so fast.
Grabe triple initiator kasi may Sova, may Fade, may KO.
Destroyed in time, still up close into the corner, seized. A trail just off to the side. How does he avoid all of this coming his way? Boasted, oh, the support is eventually there, tries to rattle it off. He did find the one killer, but eventually gone down. 3v3. Knife up close, that's going to be tagging. To 1 or 2, even a seize though, but that is sidestepped and dodged. Even the Horde not getting too much done, but King eventually spotted. The Prowler pointed exactly the right trajectory. Durka drops down with the judge. Head taken.
Yon, they get their first point.
What a gorgeous retake. Might have missed it in the chaos of all of that, but Mystic throws a flash designed to blind people that could kill the Haunt. So the Haunt sees everything. Enzo getting massive value out of it, finding a pick on a player that was trying to scurry away into hell. And that opens up the retake massively. You don't always have to swing on a flash, but the combo of flash recon, flash Haunt is always gorgeous.
That's an extra layer of defense for the Haunt.
And frankly, Enzo and Boaster both do a great job of being able to
Grabe, Mark 3.
capitalize off the distraction that Alfia was.
Whew, what a flick by Durka.
I mean,
Valorant moment. Warning, Valorant moment.
But it's the round on the ball for Fnatic.
They'll take it.
Such similar scenes of what we witnessed on that first map.
Look
Pistol winning the bonus.
Look how clean Leviathan are at taking mid here. They are sprinting down mid in the first 10 seconds with 2 recall smokes, a recon dart, a flash. It's not like they're aggressive for sure, but it's not sloppy.
Yeah.
There's thought, there's utility behind it, and that's allowing them to take very early map control. And then when they pump the brakes, Fnatic have lost that whole information, the whole section of the map. And Mystic's forced to be a human trademark.
Essentially, watching the angle. Don't have that to work around.
And you don't have to keep rushing,
So
especially
be
if
able
it's
to
still
manage
1
this one,
minute.
but what is this flash play going to be going off of here? Maybe a piece of utility that might get...
Grabe, naka-crossfire sila dito.
Maybe the contact of Enzo is just off to the side. A Prowler, a recalled smoke.
And they're rotating again.
Destroyed as the player is now going to be vacating Leviathan, giving up that mid control from earlier. Flash plays into it, does connect onto King, but he does survive.
They're going B.
Spike over at tiles at this point. There's still a couple of people that could go for a fake.
30 seconds.
I mean, Shy, if he sends the Nightfall in, This would really look like an A hit.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to achieve, but
No,
Dirkus holding the angle, and it's a contact play.
They're going A,
Trying to not give anything
but
away.
also B. There's 3 people A.
There's
There's 3 people B. There's 2 people trying to hold
It has
A.
to find itself here, and the smoke doesn't really watch too much. Still the players find their way in. Angle being watched. Takuli has got it. The spike, it has to be
6,
planted
5.
now.
Okay,
5
it's gonna be
seconds.
planted.
This is disrupted. It's essentially a 1 round for them, but Shy still watching at mid. Catching the angle onto Boaster. It's a fast play straight in with the Nightfall. No more sound cues, and Fnatic, they clean up the players.
Wow.
Watching it down, they knew exactly where Shy's positioning was, and Fnatic adjusting to that kind of pace, playing that, even letting the spike get down just so they can play that fast retake.
A great retake from Fnatic too. I mean, considering all the things that have been going wrong for them, Shy getting the pick, lurking off in mid, in the same spot that Mel's has been punishing them once or twice before too. Fnatic still committing so heavily off the back of Enzo's utility, and it's a similar looking
Yung
retake.
ano ko
In
dito,
the way that the Haunted Prowler
I
was
have
getting
never
so much
seen
value
a
on
triple
this time it's the
initiator
Nightfall,
innocent
but
win
Enzo
pa.
is setting up the rest of his team
Ito.
to barrel forwards on the retakes.
KO, Fade, and Sova. I've seen this comp
Sure.
like 3 times na ata,
Adjustments, put
but
it
I
in
have
the
not seen
game,
it win.
Watch that and hold it the entire time.
In front of the Cosmic Divine.
Sa mga na-watch
Althea
ko at
wasn't
least.
able to do this prior.
So,
He's been playing relatively passive.
this can be the first,
Defensive.
or
This is the adjustments
maybe
that
not.
have been making
Awan
coming
ko.
into this one.
Flash, recon.
So,
I do know that
There's
on
the
defense,
recall
they
smoke
really
there.
need to use their utility
Shot
kasi
down,
they
trying
don't
to
have...
fast and pacey.
Oh, they don't have...
Trademark's gonna be
They
down
don't have a
before.
duelist.
A portion of it broken off. The Haunter trying to help Althea. What a swing! Slow orb as well. The Prowler though, unfavorable fight for him to take. But the slow orb, it was off. It's slow.
They don't have
down.
a
Boaster
duelist,
now. He's anchored
actually.
it right behind Dice. The crosshair placement was good, but he can't
Woo!
find the kills. It's going the way of Leviathan.
And tragedy strikes there for Boaster. 1 and who knows what, 1 and 7, something like that on the stats at the moment. Unable to find those crucial mid-round kills that his team needs. And while the retakes have been looking good so far, there's just no chance for it this time.
Yeah. I mean, look at that Leviathan. They realize, okay, well, can't lean over towards B too much because they've swapped up their setup. We'll just take it fast into Cat this round.
But Althea looks so awkward there, trying to anchor.
Fnatic
on
also
his
doesn't
own.
have a
He's not
duelist.
connected with Boaster, they're not playing off each
But
other.
instead of triple initiator,
Perhaps
they
this
have
is a little
2
pricey for
sentinels.
Leviathan. It's about all that Mystic can ask for.
A couple of
Yeah.
players still with plenty of money, so.
Althea's position is so awkward. When he throws down, they're playing off the trademark contact. But by the time the trademark sees anybody on catwalk, or a tree rather, they're already in. They're already on top of him. So when Alpha puts up the wall, it just gets broken. It can't reinforce. You don't have the full 1,000 health. And he doesn't have a teammate playing off, so they can't reactively go and fight a main. He just gets baited into taking a poor fight. And what a kill that is from King. Boaster massively favored, but just can't hit the shot.
Boaster does play that position a lot. He's trying to anchor down onto the A site, just behind that Dice position.
And this is a sloppy buy. Fnatic looking like they're about to go 2-6 down if... Oh, no, they've got it.
They do have a full buy.
Oh, yeah,
Ends
sorry.
up working out for them, regardless of that. First engagement doesn't work out for them.
Yeah, the first engagement going their way. And here you see a similar kind of setup over anchoring A. Althea just kind of on his own, over in a tucked position where...
It is awkward, isn't it?
Once you break the trademark, Althea's just alone. He's walled off A main this time.
A minute 15 in, so...
And Boaster's in a position where he could try and play off him. So now, this looks a little more sensible from Fnatic as they look to fight Cat.
Oh,
Space.
oh, nice
deep.
first pick.
Bullet through the box.
Nice second
Doubled
pick.
up, Fnatic.
Taking a page out of Paper X or Leviathan's book. Just choosing a point in the round to fight.
But Averso, I mean, this is what he was forged in. This is what he was ready for. A tip-tap Boaster. He wins it out. Great movement.
Ang
Great
ganda
round,
ng movement
great
ni
impact. 1
Boaster.
and 7 and finds 2 kills. Crucial mid-round kills.
Boaster's gonna...
Lurks his way in. TP's to the cross.
I think Boaster knows. I think
Throws
Boaster
an unknown
knows.
quantity into the round.
Oh,
Oh, that's unfortunate, both players. But as Melzu comes
But
out
the
on top,
spike
now
is
down
all
to
the way-
2v2, but a fast response still. The spike, quite a distance away, and Fnatic players are ready to fight this one.
These are the rounds where Melzo was breaking the backs of XA. Finds one of the picks up towards heaven. Expects the second player.
That's immaculate.
And Takulia sprays him down with a little
that's
bit of help.
really good.
It's
They're
another
so
one of those
smart.
massive rounds from Melzo, Brent.
It is. Lurks through, finding the kills, creating the space, holding it. And this is Leviathan running away with a half. The money situation, Josh, I mean, invested all their money into it. It was a good buy in this round. It can be left with, again, scraps coming into this next round. And it is a case of feel it. Yeah. Energy being taken away by Leviathan. Top of the scoreboard, Taco Lear. This guy, this just feels like his map.
Fnatic forced down onto an eco.
Taco won 12-4.
They're going to take a timeout. Coach Mini trying to have a little bit of input here. Not only does their defensive setup looks like it's got a few holes in it, you know, awkward positions from Alpha, yeah, Melzer being able to slip through the cracks and punish Boaster. Not only that, but, you know, in the final moments there, Enzo, Mystic not really playing with each other on the attempt to swing back through heaven, just playing a series of 1v1s.
Yeah.
That is what Fnatic need to avoid. The more chaotic and sloppy this match gets, the more Leviathan are in their comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Grabe talaga ang Ascent. I really don't like this
It's not
map.
just the individualism, obviously, though, because on Ascent, they showcase a deep understanding of how to work this triple initiator comp. I was so excited to see teams running this. There's not that many at the tournament still on it. No. DRX have moved away from it. It's Optic, it's Leviathan. And Leviathan have got a really nice idea of how to work their attack side.
So many tools that they can use. You've seen this opening protocol by them on their attack side. Every single time it's like a Prowler, the recalled smokes, and if you take the space, not really set up quite for it in this round. I think maybe anticipating an aggressive play from them because the money's not too good for Fnatic right now. Just holding in Gelato.
And Durka may be the player to go for that aggro peak. A Prowler spots Takolia hiding on top of the truck.
Uh-oh.
Great diligence to just
Uh-oh.
there's nothing he can do there. There was a pull behind him, a Prowler, the flash.
The amount of utility that Leviathan have access to is monstrous, but actually they use it all as well. Which might sound silly, but there's some teams that play this comp that don't really use all of the tools at their disposal.
Thinking about it.
Grabe, they're not peeking. They are not peeking.
So he still wants to take some risks, obviously. Doesn't have to worry about giving away any sort of weapon or losing one. Flash through, seeing they could catch a player just through that smoke, but the Leviathan players with 40 seconds left in this round, there's a bit of a contact rotation, moving their way through. This is a really nice wall in terms of the timing.
Yeah, the wall has just gone up here. It might make Durka and Althea feel like there's nobody
30
here,
seconds
but
left.
with the fact that they didn't see anybody towards tiles, here, now the utility comes through, and they're ready for it.
Being used to clear the corner, Durka, he's been spotted out. Off to the side, the positioning was known. Melzer hunts him down, and now they work their way into the side, jumping around, making sure they can avoid it. Tell for yeah. The shots finding him, and the damage is still done. He set his team up for success. But right now, it's the rest of the Fnatic players that have to capitalize. A beautiful horn. The spike needs to be stuck.
Wow,
Thrifty. A round
thrifty.
from Alpha, yeah.
Thrifty,
He was the
thrifty.
man on Fracture, and he's done it again for them on this round of Ascent. Beautiful shots.
Grabe
with the
naman to si
Sheriff.
Alpha,
But
eh.
also, Leviathan messing up a little bit in terms of the time pressure. Nobody breaking that Sage wall because they didn't want to give away the fact that they were in A main, playing to deny information instead of open up an avenue for them. They all funneled through a tiny
Love the
choke
way he
point.
played that. And then Enzo at the end as well, the Haunt lineup, knowing that there was pressure on them, the time pressure.
Yeah, and beautiful value.
The
on
Ares
Ares
buy.
too. But Fnatic are barely being able to hold on in this half. The 4 rounds that Leviathan got off the rip, and then maybe this Thrifty can be a slight twist in the momentum so far, but it's another fast mid-take from Leviathan. They're constantly getting this area of the map and never being punished.
Whenever they do it, you'd expect maybe like an aggressive play towards the other extremities. This time around, you can see Fnatic are making a play towards B main. In fact, the trademark's triggered. I think that's an intentional sound bait. They're trying to get Takolia to swing wider because Durka, he found the perfect timing and avoided it earlier. I love this call.
It's a
Oh?
great one.
Oh?
Durka has to just make sure that he doesn't get too antsy here. He's already made the play that can deliver him a kill. Patience. is
Ay,
required.
Alice.
Unfortunately, Taco not going to walk into the trap.
I'm not taking the bait.
Taco though goes back and collects the spike. And the great thing about Leviathan's mid control is they can pivot to either direction. Althea's wall has been broken over towards Catwalk.
Yep.
It may make them think the trademark's in a different spot, but Durka's essentially been putting it mid or tree every time.
You are divided.
Moving across now, Cosmic Divide cut across.
And it's
And
another
no
fake.
plan to try and sell it, yeah.
30 seconds.
That's the goal of this one, to sell the fake. Durkin moves backwards onto the side, but with that kill onto King, they have to realize, surely, this is going to be ending towards the A side. Boaster revealed up, but no one's watching that corner. Playing around, weaving in and out of the wall. 2 kills found, and he's got the backup. Alfie, he's there with him. Spike dropped down. And with 12 seconds left in the round, Leviathan, they've dropped the ball.
Trying to get a
But
bit too
ganun yung
funky,
ult
perhaps.
nila.
Mel's Cosmic Divide,
Bakit
it
ganun
doesn't
yung
help
ult
them
nila
there.
if they were
Trying to
going
get in.
A?
Boaster
That was
finding
an ult
these impact
against them.
rounds and helping Fnatic put another one up on the
They
board.
tried
This
faking
half
B,
now not looking
pero
as
Boaster
terrible as it once
remained
did.
A.
4-6 off the back of a
Pero pag
thrifty,
napatay nila sa
but a
si
huge play by
Boaster, nun,
Take a look at the
ano.
replay here as well. He is lit up, and Taco has no idea where he's at.
But the trade is so delayed from the Leviathan players.
But
Just don't
part
want
of
to go
it is
through the wall.
they've got no vision, they've got no audio cues. The wall is designed to be a cool fake play over towards B, and it's a nice idea. It certainly had the Fnatic players scrambling, but not enough to remove the site anchors on A.
Roaring their way back into the half. Now for what feels like the first time in a while, Leviathan, a couple of players digging into the bank to buy up into this round. The weapon, still the economy looks like it's in good shape. They end up losing it, and look at this pressure that's being applied. Alfie, what an angle! Space being taken.
That's a pretty good shot.
No further attempts after it, just a kill.
Yeah, but it's an awesome play by King. He suppresses Alpha, and as Alpha runs backwards, knowing he can't slow, can't wall, the Leviathan players just hunt him down. No quarter given.
The
Clear this one, and I appreciate the attempt by Boaster.
Boaster did that
being
3
held.
The
times.
timing also is so rough. They've just cleared B main. They have to be towards A or mid. Boaster just walks into them. Now
Okay.
Mystic does something very similar, but wins the duel. The flash
Woo!
What a
Perfect
play by
flash.
Mystic. Flash into
Perfect
mid.
flash.
And why not? Down a couple of players, but you've set your team up now, son.
Grabe patience.
What
Oh.
a performance.
It's actually
Can Durkin
part
finish
of
this
being
one
in
out?
high
Mel's
elo
rolled out
or
with a
in
single
Radiant
shot.
or in
Beautiful.
Pro Scene
Beautiful.
actually.
One
The-
tap on
like
adverse
Pro
out.
Scene, pro players need the patience. Kailangan you don't get crazy
Those
from
are
the
the solo plays
silence.
that we've normally seen coming out from Leviathan. But Mystic makes it happen in mid.
Amazing, amazing stuff.
And I just want to point out how rough of a tournament Mystic was having before this. Even in their win, he was really struggling to find the same value that he has been online. But my word, he has
Mystic
stepped up for this
clutched
match.
that. Mystic clutched that. Vamos!
Said with some real primal energy there.
And now we end up with another timeout, this time Leviathan. This is the final round of the first half, by the way. Using the timeout, seeing if they can discuss what can they do to make sure that they get the edge coming into the next half.
And what's insane as well is, it feels like Leviathan have been in control of this half, but Fnatic are clawing their way back into it. And Leviathan won the pistol, Leviathan won the bonus, and then since then, Fnatic beat them on an eco round and are now starting to win some gun rounds. And it's almost like Fnatic are the better team if you take away the pistol and the momentum at the start.
They've been playing very scared, I think, with the defensive setups that they've had early on. Not really playing much towards A main or B main control in the early parts of this half, but as it's got later and later, more willing to re-clear areas together, more willing to make a solo play like that and fight fire with fire.
And perhaps the fire is what Fnatic need. Mystic certainly got it in his chest right now. And Mystic's got a great ultimate to use here too. The null command could shut down a Leviathan push deep on. This composition is so much about the utility if Mystic can find the right timing for it. But this feels like a fast B hit and Enzo destroys them.
No one watching it, no one ensuring that they destroy that one ability. And the players of Leviathan crumbling one after the other.
I'm confused. I'm sure Fnatic are confused as well. But Takolia finds an opening pick here. Alpha and Boaster are waiting for it. What was this from Leviathan? So many of their previous rounds looked structured, whether they were going quickly or slowly. This one, they just fell to pieces off the rip.
Good luck, Adverso.
Good luck indeed.
Yeah, that timeout, whatever they decided to cook up. I mean, a lot of time to stew, and even more so now that the half
Wow.
ended 6-6.
Ang ganda ng balik.
What a response
Fnatic came back.
Even, Josh.
And it's the same scoreline on their defensive half that they had against Paper X. They weren't quite able to get the job done. But I think the way that this half has played out, the fact that they were able to get some clutch, the clutch thrifty round that they did, and then win some gun rounds towards the end, it feels like they have momentum back in their core.
Magical, magical stuff so far. It's only going to get better, I think, as this entire map just begins to heat up. Let's send it over to the analyst desk. They can break down all the action that we've just seen.
Analyst desk. Good half, yep.
Match found.
Antok na ako. What? Natalon? I think I'm having FPS drop. I think, yeah. Why are they on pistols? What? Ang confusing. Everyone's on pistol.
Get ready. I go fast.
Oops, sorry. It's
Fight.
back na.
I'll show them.
Well, the compositional question that we've got about Fnatic now switching
Hindi
to the
eh,
attack
hello.
side. And this pistol round, maybe converting it into the bonus. So important for them up against Leviathan. But think about it now, Josh. Elimination match on the line with this map, Leviathan. They have to convert this to stay in the series and stay in the tournament.
The pistol rounds have been incredibly instrumental. Boaster throwing down a one-way, actually, over towards B main in an attempt to take control. Haven't really seen any omens go for this one. And he just backs off, running away from the cat, chasing him down.
But notice it was only him shooting it. They didn't want to reveal that there were multiple players waiting in B main, and that's the key.
They will, however, hear Durka popping down his rendezvous and know that there's a couple of people around here.
And here comes the hit.
And
It
it
looks
going
like
for the big pop.
Yep, a bit of pace now behind this one. What is that? Shugged out into it. All followed up. Was that a seize on top of it as well to bring them low enough for just a one shot?
Yeah, I believe so.
You've got to be kidding me.
Cannot use that.
Just an incredible combo there.
And it's going to take heroics for Fnatic to find their way in, but Averso at the back of the side. This guy's feeling himself now. The Prowler latches on, 4 kills. Ace denied, but another round for him. Leviathan,
What a
so
round.
consistent. Is their
What a
approach
round
every
on
time? It
Leviathan.
feels like just able to claw away these pistol rounds.
And that is 3 out of 4 pistols.
Wow.
Going the way of Leviathan in this series, which is just insane. That's 8 out of 10 in their last 2 matches. They are dominant. Take a look at this one. Shock Dart is out, and that's just the fade. The C's comboing up. Of course, the Astra gets the assist there as well, but that's just for the smoke. There was no gravity well happening there, no vulnerable.
That had to have been frame perfect. The shock dart has to go off after the C's.
Yeah.
I want to hear the comms on that.
Really well coordinated play, but Durka's had enough.
But I feel like I've seen this before. Literally in the first half.
Take flight.
Fnatic lost the pistol. Durka opens it up when they're on an eco.
Whoa, overheat moment from Adverso as well, expecting mid perhaps to be safe for some reason, no idea why.
This could be the end that Fnatic were looking for. Enzo just has to try and reposition, but they are being Fort. Trying to go for the double swing, spraying it down with the Spectre. Still 1v2, Durka. Anything's possible with this guy, but shot not being found there. Leviathan eventually.
Ba't naka-fracture map? Ay, sorry po.
Oh, what a bonkers way of playing the anti-eco from Leviathan. Not only does Adverso walk down mid, but then you have an aggressive push happening in B main, an aggressive push happening in A main, and you've got a player in a one and done on Cat. Any of those three players could have been barreled over and lost Leviathan the round, but I think this just goes to reinforce the point. They are never afraid to make some kind of crazy play.
Always with confidence.
And for Fnatic, that must be so difficult to predict.
Put a buy around now. Weaponry's good. Leviathan losing enough players that they're really just working with bottom of the barrel. Bargain bin weaponry. Drone doesn't clear the corner. Boaster, well, what a way to set yourself up. Damage being tries to teleport to safety.
Adverso is not making it out of there, and that is a hard read from Fnatic. Leviathan on their bonus rounds on Ascent have been going for that triple push. In fact, they've been doing it on Thrifty rounds too. But we've seen enough of Leviathan on Ascent so far that Boaster's got the read, tucks himself in the corner, the drone doesn't spot him, and they're able just to mow down Leviathan.
Absorb and audio aggression.
Yeah, that's prep advantage right there.
So, should be the easiest round in the world for Fnatic. Although I've said that in the past, and sometimes doesn't come up with it, but
Mel's has been nuts, but I haven't seen him do it with a Bucky.
Yeah, that would be great. That would require, I think, old Bucky.
That would be something
running and
else.
gunning. Back when it wasn't
I love the respect here.
Lovely, lovely stuff from Fnatic, I think, to try and drag this one even. But just to really hammer home, I think, the overall points here. Because this is still the elimination match between these teams. I think the pressure is a little bit different when it comes to how much is applied to Fnatic, how much is applied to the Leviathan. Fnatic, I do expect the world of this team, especially with their full roster in. We've been waiting a long time to see this, not being issued any sort of...
I don't think Durka has money for a rifle kasi namatay siya dun.
Now, I really like this read from Boaster, and of course he gets caught. But then, Durka has died to the spike there. And they've actually got
naging half armor lang siya.
Like one player with light armor, a bulldog out here. They could have kept that a little cleaner. We'll see whether it makes a difference. Of course, it's just a good job for Fnatic winning the anti-bonus. The first one of the match so far.
I like this. She's catching on to 4 of them.
What?
An extra element added in. Leviathan going for that Tiles crunch. We've seen it used so
that
much
is
over the course
so
of the
perfect.
And it should be one that Fnatic are ready for too. But they just didn't see it coming. Lost Boaster off the rip. They actually broke some of the utility that would light the world up for Adverso and allow him to be very accurate with the spam. But when 4 people are tethered, it feels like you're guaranteed to get one.
The cherry on top, wasn't it? Bit of decay damage, the Odin spam. Guaranteed. And Taco Leah off angle. So difficult to clear out the chamber player when they're playing in that kind of angle. They've got the teleport that they can just get back to safety easily enough.
And Boaster making the decision there to just dry peek it and try and skill diff Taco instead of using a Prowler or a Haunt or whatever, some kind of flash around the corner. Fnatic are struggling in this round so far. Caught by one of Leviathan's excellent set plays on Ascent and left with no map control, punished by the operator.
With 30 seconds left in the round, looking like they're just going to be opting to save into it.
Yeah, and while dull, I think this is absolutely the right play.
Yeah, it is the right play to make.
They didn't even come into this round with a great buy. They had light armor, they had bulldog to work with. And Leviathan, their map pool, sorry, not their map pool, their strat book, the playbook, it doesn't go crazy deep on this.
Grabe, 3-man
but
save kasi they need it. They don't wanna be
and they still
eco
have a couple of very good set plays. They'll go for that triple push out of B main with the drone. They'll go for the play that we just saw in this round with the C's line up and Adverso spams from Catwalk. And then the majority of where Leviathan are going to get their round wins on defense is by playing these excellent retake kind of setups where there's players flooding into site, throwing utility for the site anchors, helping them either hold off or go for a fast retake. At this point, Fnatic haven't even got into those situations.
No, I think they're feeling... Not to keep using the same word here, but there's definite pressure on their shoulders when it comes into this one, but opposition not suited for this attack side of things. Already to rendezvous. shield out there by Durka. Just using it to make sure you know, forces in a bit of utility out of Leviathan, making sure that they can clear through B main, and King was still holding onto that flash.
Think about the start of Leviathan's rounds, how quickly they had mid control, or any extremity if they wanted to play there instead.
Right off the jump.
Fnatic are so grouped up in tiles right now. There's a minute 15 on the clock, sure, still a lot of time to work with. But they're having to contact walk around, and at any of these angles, might run into Taco, and just lose a player instantly.
Tremor off to the side, wall deep in mid, Fnatic. At this point, it's obvious that it's going to be the B-split play. Shy playing up close and personal, he's in the smoke!
Wow.
And just from the haunt, most afford to just commit to the one side or the other. Hunter's Fury now locking him off straight down mid. Alfie is removed.
How did that one get Alpha?
Naging 4v3 ko to.
Awesome play by Shy as well, forced Enzo away, and now the spike rattling its way around to try and meet up with Mystic. If Mystic can find them a kill, but Adverso just sneaks his way around the corner and re-swings with an Odin.
No way.
Every play working here for Leviathan.
Map 3
Nelson's gonna show
auto.
him how a site anchor works.
Up onto the site, high ground position, and there
Map
it
3
is.
question mark?
Final blow there for Melza. A round win again, and this is Leviathan firmly in control now.
Firmly, completely. Fnatic can't put a bite together for the next round. Maybe one player will have some kind of hero rifle. Look at this play. The haunt that Shy throws stops Enzo from being in a position to support Boaster.
And this Hunter's Fury, I'm pretty sure it's just being used to peel for Shy, right?
Yeah.
The entire time, just
yeah,
remain.
absolutely.
And Alpha here just gets caught.
Yeah, just trying to find the timing on going for that mid push. I mean, the angle that Adverso is ulting through catches people in both positions.
You want to play? Let's play.
Intentional.
Reaper Bolt taken down there. Something that Adverso can afford to throw out because they have so much utility with the triple initiator comp. And it's Alpha, yeah, with a hero Vandal. Asked to do the impossible for Fnatic and get them back into Ascent.
And the youngster's been good for it in the past. With these kind of circumstances, it's
here
a bit of a tall order. Tour de force for Durka. Powerful ultimate that they could use, and Alpha, yeah, what a way to begin things. Melza's dealt with. Smoke's now going to be starting to drop down, but again, not too much in terms of utility being used. Finally, now you see the ult up, but the angle watch. Takolia, he's got it locked. The reposition.
Oh no, my internet's
close
bug.
to the door. Needs a bit of help from the rest of his teammates. Off to the side. Boaster, deep in. Managed to hit a straight shot, but damage is not enough. Damage doesn't equate a kill.
It's a tragedy for him. There were opportunities to make this round dangerous, but Leviathan dealt with them all. Going to be going up to 11-7 here with a 4-round lead on their map pick. And this triple initiator comp looks awesome in their hands.
These guys are sailing away.
They
Only
haven't-
one round game for Fnatic in this half, Joe.
And they haven't even really been tested. The round 15 was Leviathan going aggressive, and Boaster reads it, and anti-strat, you get the round done. But apart from that, once Leviathan just chill out and ask Fnatic to win the rounds instead of being given them, Fnatic have got nothing.
Yeah.
Nightfall in the hands of Enzo may make some level of difference, but King's Null Command is a fantastic tool as well in this fight.
Oh,
Taco!
shot!
He's just so aggressive.
Pushing out. This is his map. Always a dominant performance is what you can come to expect when this guy's on Ascent. Always putting up the numbers.
And taking liberties
Grabe.
with the attack in default.
First triple initiator on Ascent that I am gonna see winning.
Information gained. Sees two heads just over the top of it. Drops down a smoke. The pull now forced out of him, but immediately, look at that, he repositions closer.
And on the other side of the map, Shy is getting information that there's nobody towards B main. So Leviathan can be pretty confident this is coming into a... Oh, recon dart.
No one breaks
it. It just lights up 3 players.
And they're still trying to commit into this one. They're running right into the Odin spam. What is going on here for Fnatic? A wall up top. Boaster's going to teleport. That's a high ground angle that he can play around, and he has found them a kill. Is it going to be enough, though? The pressure that's being applied, the swing out of it. Fnatic players, they lock down the angles. It's enough for about a moment, and they do hold it for the re-swing, but 30 seconds remaining in the round. They do not know where Takolia is. Panic, fear being placed into them.
Taco Leah is essentially AFK here. As King dies, maybe Taco does something, but is he just playing for the retake completely?
Why is this?
10 seconds left.
Just no reaction whatsoever. Might see a tech timeout even.
Yeah, either that or something's gone wrong in the round because, yeah, that is just the angle being watched.
I think he's
And
AFK.
Fnatic are gifted a lifeline there. They did earn it though. Getting into that round, the shots that Mystic and Alfie
Yeah,
hit,
he's
dealing with
definitely
players swinging
AFK.
Heaven and swinging Tree, they forged their own entry into the site, and it looked awful for them.
All over the place.
He is
It looked
AFK.
Leviathan had players left, right, center. It looked like Melzer might be able to lock the round down.
That was
Fnatic
probably.
here at some point are going to realize that Taco is not attempting this one. And while we don't have any
Yeah.
information, I mean, it looks like Taco's just having a tech issue. Maybe he's just holding this area down and saving the op for the next round, but
Fnatic are going to be gaining this round.
This is a tech pause. This has to be a tech pause.
Stem what's been happening.
Yan na.
And it is a tech pause, yeah. So Takalia having an issue there.
brutal. Absolutely brutal for Leviathan. They could have still won that round, though. They had their players in position, the three-player stack over on that side.
But Taco Lily could clutch that kasi one was low. KO was low.
The timing not quite
Ouch.
clinical there. And
KO
what a
was low.
time for a tech pause like this. Yeah. Fnatic just being able to win their first round. They'll want the momentum to keep going. Neither team are happy about this game being paused. No.
It's
Nothing that
I
they can
don't
do about
think. I don't think it's gonna be a rollback.
But it was a bit of a client crash there on the Leviathan side.
Oh, nag-crash.
Investigating the round, getting down to the details, seeing what needs to be done about it. Moving
I think they're gonna investigate. Yeah, they're gonna investigate and think if they
this
need to
game is getting
roll back the round or not.
Fnatic have got to come up with answers quickly.
opportunity, I think, as well, to just think about what's at stake here for both of these teams. It's not something we've really been discussing too much, but this is the elimination match. You win this one, you move forwards into the tournament, you move into those crowd games.
And I don't think anybody had Leviathan in the top 4 of their pick'ems. No. At least nobody that I saw. Some Chilean fans, I'm sure.
Of course, always. But
they had Crew and Leviathan in the top 4.
Quote-unquote analysts like us, Josh.
Oh, well, we're fools. We
are fools. I mean, that's revealed every single event.
It certainly is. But I think the expectations are just massively different for these two teams, and that comes with its own weight of responsibility and pressure. Yeah. Boaster never looks like he has pressure on his shoulders, but that's just his disposition.
Yeah, fun-loving guy.
And Leviathan, it feels like they're kind of free-rolling right now. They've already hit their goal of making champions, finishing a couple of spots above Crew, so the most successful LATAM team of this year is going to be moving into champs, guaranteed. And now they're just playing for extra. Can they make top 4? Can they play in front of a crowd?
Yeah.
Can they make a finals? Can they go on a run like Crew? All of these questions, we really don't know the answer to. I'm sure a lot of people would have written them off even coming into this game. But what they've showcased on Fracture in a sense so far prove that they are seriously a team that you underestimate them at your own peril.
Absolutely. These guys are playing against some of the best teams in the world. They are one of the best teams in the world. They've earned their spot. This is the state of the game that we're looking at these days of Valorant, honestly. Every time we get to these big global tournaments early on, you'd have matches sometimes, Josh. I was reflecting on this the other day with Wyatt. And we were thinking about it and thinking, you know, there were some games early on with some of the earlier events where there was a region where, you know, they weren't going to be putting up the same numbers. You know what to expect. It was going to be a one-sided match here and there. But the point we're at now in Valorant, you cannot count any team out.
So this tech pause is about to be resolved. We are going to go and roll back the round.
Roll
so the score
back.
is going to be 7-11. Brutal for Fnatic, who I'm sure didn't even realize that Taco was having a problem, but those be the rules.
Yeah.
The
Usually,
disconnect happening early enough in the round.
If the disconnect is before any damage is done, I believe is the way it goes.
But also, we're not the admins.
Exactly. But you can throw the shade at me on Twitter. I'll take it. Don't worry.
But that is just a brutal blow to the stomach for Fnatic.
It really is.
Because as scrappy as that round was, that was the only success that they've really found in the half. And then to look back with hindsight and realize, oh, we won that round 5v4 and we barely did it. That's a gut-wrenching blow to these players.
To the morale.
It's gonna get into their heads a little. And so much of Valorant is about the mental game. It's about being able to have a short memory. If something worked, if something failed, doesn't matter. Move on.
Yeah.
Get to the next round. Let your IGL think about that overarching kind of stuff.
See a couple of players there gassing each other up. Fist bumps exchange. We'll be getting into the match shortly, I'm sure of it.
And if you think about the way that the round went down as well, right? That's what these players will be thinking about. There's some mind games to be played here. Leviathan didn't go for some kind of set play at the beginning of the round. Maybe coming out of the timeout, maybe now's the time.
Yeah.
You don't have to play the round out the same way as you did before. You can throw something really crazy into the mix if you want to. So there are a lot of options here at the end of this tech pause. And the score is going to be, as I said, 7-11, with that round being rolled back for Fnatic. So the only one they have on their board is round 15. We'll see if they can replicate it now that the game is actually 5v5.
That round was so scrappy just prior.
Ayan
There's
na.
nothing strategy-wise it felt like that they were really doing. It
What
was just
the
brute
heck?
force the way they barreled through. And that's something that they've got going for them if they can do it.
Here comes Adverso with the Odin.
Once more, holding this down, the Haunt. Try and combo it up, and this is just being pre-fired. All the damage being done. Durga forced to teleport away so early.
Takes a chunk of damage too. And this knife lineup on the other side of the map stops Melzer from being able to get into a wine. A crucial 0-point lineup, because so many of these players have been getting huge plays out of wine. Boaster is in such an unusual spot. Will Taco think about it? Will Taco go for a swing?
It looks like this is just an incredibly narrow angle that's being held. If you're expecting players up there with the smoke popped off, you do not push this, surely not. You have to be a maniac.
This is Leviathan we're talking about.
King's set up, a deep knife, a bit of information. I'm wondering if he can try and flash into mid for him, but I don't think from the positioning that he's playing. Taco's job there just to hold the smoke, making sure nobody lurks inside of it.
And it does appear from the minimap that this is going to be a B pop.
40 seconds.
Adverso's just got his recon dart back online. Here it comes, broken instantly by Durka. Oh, headshot.
Mystic so low.
Falling down to 57 HP.
The shock dart damage. Durka's so low in all this utility. Slams right into them. Where is the oomph behind this hit? Prowler up top, walling as well up into the window. Alpha here, he just cannot get the line of sight angles. He can't do any damage. Not when the angle's being hugged so close, and Adverso locks it down but does not expect it. Althea finally getting rewarded, but 12 seconds in this one, the spike needs to be planted.
The silver lining for Fnatic is that there was no one there to help Leviathan. A paranoia to allow Mystic to get raised. The flash just a little too late.
Counter spam. King is so low here, but he still pushes through with the flash and eventually punished. Enzo up close and personal, a bit of a jiggle when it comes to the movement. Melzer, how do you find that one? The head of Mystic just ripped straight off, but still is down to the 2v4. Fnatic, a round they are primed to take here.
Able to replicate the previous one that they pulled together, this time on the opposite side. A 4v2 cannot go wrong for them. Surely the time is just far too low. And it looks like from Mel's perspective, they just want to do economic damage.
It's really Fnatic's round. It's really Fnatic's round. And Taco is gonna be the one to remain. And he's still...
And it didn't look like they were going to be able to do it. With Adverso anchoring there.
Why did Durka die again?
That happened earlier. That happened round 15 as well. They get the round win and Durka's too slow to exit, loses a Vandal. That's huge. It may not make the impact this round, but if Fnatic keep surviving with only 2 players remaining, they might even have to take an eco despite winning at some point here. Only 1 light armor though for now, so not getting currently punished.
The important factor being that Fnatic have finally got that additional round that they were looking for in this half, but not much of a buffer available to them. When you think about Leviathan, what a recon. The flick actually bringing Boaster down to 57 health. One-way setup for Enzo to see if he can take control of this, but every single round it feels like, every single kill, so hard fought.
Shy will try and punish here. Prowler connects. Durka jumps away a little bit. Shy is desperate to take a fight, doesn't really have anybody to play off, although King could send a flash through B main for him.
Approach from Fnatic, the Haunt over the top, broken, presence. B main still being known, but that's going to be the knife across, or not even a knife. Mystic just popping that ultimate. Smoke drop down at a choke point means it's going to be difficult for Fnatic to try and get their way through this one. The Haunt removed, but Durka, what a swing, what a kill. King taken out, and they double up, taking the fight, the numbers advantage. under the belt here for Fnatic.
Oh.
But they need to get into this site cleanly. The Cosmic Divide caused a bit of a problem for them.
Ralph, long time no
Get that
see.
plan going down.
Thank you sa
Melvin
11
making it
stars. Para sa
dangerous, but
11
still
mong
now
jowa.
opting into that save.
And this round looks like the one where Fnatic are going to be able to keep their weapons. They got into the site, Durka finding big entries for them, trading out effectively too, and just relying on that death ball approach. It always looks like there's potentially one swing or one piece of spam that Leviathan could be sending in there and ruining the round for Fnatic. They're living life on the narrowest of margins here, Fnatic, but they're getting away with it. Off the back of some big entries, nice trading. And this is finally going to stabilize the economy for Fnatic. They have some breathing room at last. But not in the map, not when it comes to the rounds. They need to keep delivering.
They do. Fortunately, they're still ahead in the series as well. Points are still considered, I think. End of the day, it's Leviathan that are the ones sitting at that backs against the wall, losing that first map, a timeout being taken. Leviathan looking to make some corrections in their overall play. And a lot of pauses in this match, a lot of time to think about the way that they want to be approaching this one. But it definitely, I mean, I agree with this timing completely in terms of when they're taking this timeout, because Fnatic have definitely worked something out now. An adjustment has been made to them in the way that they're fighting and finding ways and opportunities to get back into this.
And I actually don't think that a major strategic adjustment needs to be made here for Leviathan. If you think about the success of the round that we just watched, in my opinion, it came down to the fact that Mystic used his null command. So Leviathan's team weren't able to throw that utility and bog Fnatic down in the choke point. That's not going to be an option for them in the next few rounds. If they continue fighting the choke points aggressively, getting value out of horns and recon darts to put pressure on Fnatic and find out where they are on the map, and they have people ready to rotate and retake.
Ganda na nasa monitor
I
nila.
still think Leviathan are in a prime position to take this one away and send us to a third.
Need to sleep.
They're within touching
Okay.
distance.
Good night, Changdae. Thank you
They
for
can't drop the ball
staying.
Let's try
Arigato.
and stay in this series.
And the Leviathan players are so close to some big ultimates as well. Hunter's Fury, Nightfall.
Is this a fight over towards B main? And how aggressively is Durka going to be taking this one? Tackle with the operator in his hands. Destroy deals with that one, with the horn destroyed.
What is that?
Look at this. A one-way smoke to try and block the recon dart that Adverso has been occasionally throwing.
That's kind of interesting.
Don't know whether he actually used it at the beginning of this round. He doesn't have the recon, so he must have used it somewhere, but I was watching the fight in B main. Nevertheless, cool idea from Boaster.
That's funny.
Elsa Seal seems aware though. This could be being played. A bit of run and gun as he moves across the smoke there. Repositioning of Boaster set up now. Paranoia holding, ready and waiting. A Prowler into the corner. Melter is in trouble, but where is the support from the rest of them? The fragment nade stops him in their tracks. A wall across to cut this one up. High ground, low ground positions so they can try and make a mark with. Still need to deal with this door position, King.
And they need to go forwards as well. Okay, now Fnatic start to take their spaces deeper and deeper into the site.
Jeez, Hunter's Fury. That's a latch on, surely. Avoiding it, dodging it, but it means that the movement and positioning is predictable. Adverso gets a pick off. 3 players left alone for Fnatic now to try and hold this in this post plant.
And if Shy gets a kill, Nightfall back online too. A player advantage for Leviathan. And these retakes have been awesome before. They have horned, they have 2 flashes.
Cleared out of it. Boaster just going for a bit of spam there into the smoke, but the counter plays in action still. The cross, ready and waiting. Alfia and Durka, last 2 left. Against Leviathan, Shy, Adverso dropping down. The recon dart, someone needs to break it, but positioning is now gained, and knowledge. A shock dart, back again. Nightfall to the fuse, right over the Alfia. What a play! Swings into it, no sound cues to work off of, but just a raw precision.
That is some awesome spray control from Alpha, yeah. Great work from Durka and Alpha to save that round. Take a look at this one on the replay. Alpha gets an opener by playing on top of his wall. Then he punishes Taco. And look at this spray control from Alpha, yeah. Grabs the first player and whips his crosshair around.
Pure magic coming out from the young gun.
Grog.
What a play to make. And the momentum of this match. Of each map, it feels like each team just getting just that little bit more Fnatic now, one more
Gabi
round away
Leviathan
from leaving it
still
out.
not on
And the
Eco.
aggressive play from Taco Leah.
It wasn't going to get punished, but he just couldn't find the pick. He had an idea of where Boaster was, could hear the teleport. He knew he wasn't going to get punished there and just goes for the swing at tiles. How can you not be a fan of plays like that, but it doesn't quite get the job done this time.
Still finding the confidence to do it, but it looks like Fnatic vacating their way away from A.
And they're going to give Takalea another opportunity at this one.
He's posted up this time into B main. Did I even expect this one? A drone into mid? Doesn't see anything. But look at this angle. It is everything. I think Fnatic may be opting to try and fake this one out with the paranoia. A smoke as well. It's not enough to push Takulea away from the angle. The timing is slightly off for Fnatic still. Boaster wants to take the space. Teleporting into his own smoke, and look at that timing at Verso. Quarter utility out, but Shy holds the angle once more.
And this round is chaos. That's where Leviathan love to see it. A wall used just to stop Tackle pushing behind them and give them an angle where they can go and help Enzo, who's just been stuck in A main the whole time.
Fragment, King, spotted out there, gonna be taken out. It's an easy kill for Fnatic. They found their way into the site, but they need to deal with the players at the back. Melza gets one, but now swarmed, surrounded, needs to help attack Leah. Coming through the time running so low. What is that? The Fnatic players unable to clear out Melza. The time being bought. And Takulea sprinting to help his teammate.
And it's both of the pistols that end up doing it. Just absolute chaos on the field. And Leviathan can feel the momentum building here. Look at this play. Misses the first shot, headhunter whipped out instantly. But the time was so incredibly low. I'm not sure whether Enzo could have even done anything there. And the difference in reactions between the two coaches says it all.
You want to play? Let's play.
Durka has his tour de force online, starting to move things towards mid. One of the first rounds where we've seen Fnatic start to use this utility early on, but they're not going deep off the back of it quickly.
Oh god, I want Fnatic to win.
Holding, watching for someone on Leviathan to try and contest.
And Leviathan are so close to bringing it to that map 3.
Which, again, we have no idea how Bind's going to go. But
All set up.
we still might have a few more rounds to play here.
Doing everything in their power to stop them in their tracks. 5 health. That's what Durka gets dropped down to.
Yo, Alpha,
Alpha
heal!
does have the heal. But Durka will still be on very low HP.
Ayun lang!
No way.
Didn't
And a
have any
flash on
idea.
top of it. Enzo's going to be dodging it. The paranoia across, cutting them away. Enzo's able to get one, but the players, the Leviathan players, still deep on the site.
Map 3.
Locking down. A moment
Map
away now.
3.
What can Durka do? Doesn't have the health. Missing the shot. Left alone against the mighty Leviathan. It's inevitable at this point. And just like that, we will be going to map 3.
Leviathan very firmly put themselves in the conversation for one of the best teams on a set. Fnatic, they're always close when it comes to this map, but it just feels like they can never get the job done. Fist bumps all around. They know that there's still a job to be done as we head into Bind. But for the Leviathan guys, that is going to fire them up, give them confidence that this team is beatable, that they can win, that they can progress. Take a look at some of the replays and highlights of this map. Remember that play? Absurd from Durka. But Fnatic just never felt like they could get the small moments cascading into something bigger. The wild amounts of utility available to Leviathan at all times was so good.
And the plays that were being made as well. Leviathan had so many core ideas that they had coming into this. They look like potentially one of the best teams when it comes to Ascent. Playing on this map in particular, just something about it unlocks the talent on this roster. We're heading into Bind as our 3rd and final map in this series. And it's everything to play for. For both of these teams, the elimination, they're in the lower bracket, that chance to play on stage.
Both teams one map away from making top 4 at this Masters event. And I don't know whether anyone had that on the bingo card for Leviathan.
No.
But Leviathan are doing so incredibly well.
I want to
Absurd
see
performance
the
from both these teams. Let's send it over to the analyst desk after this short break, of course, to break down the action and set up that critical map number 3. Don't go anywhere.
I wanna see the Nasaan Valorant ayun? Comments.
Match found. Deathmatch. Warm up.
Why must I whiff on the Phoenix? I actually hate the crouching.
Never show weakness. Ever.
Fight!
I'll cut.
Ba't ako naglalag? I can feel it.
Embarrassing.
I can feel the delay.
Nice.
Oh, sayang. I can feel the delay. I don't know what's wrong. Oops. Ayan no, may delay talaga. Sayang. Oopsie. Why are two people peeking me? Good morning, John.
Kills remaining.
Oopsie.
Kill them.
Oh, nag-whip ako dun. Why is there always two though?
5 kills remaining.
Uh-oh. Lol.
1 kill remaining.
Is it map 3? Ay, sheesh, nanalo sila. Ay, talo. Nakakasaling ano.
Love that.
Fnatic love this map. They're one of the best buying teams in the world, in my opinion. So why would they bring it here? I mean, listen, Leviathan, they had a choice, Josh. They had a choice.
Yeah, they could have gone Haven or Bind. Leviathan deliberately chose to send things to Bind. That would make me a little cautious if I was Fnatic. What have they got prepared for us?
Deep flash just for...
Love that.
Deep flash just for the information. That's just for now from Leviathan, and it's a bit of pace. Fnatic not messing around. All 5 players just wandering, running all the way down, straight through into Elbow, trying to punish the play. How does Shy get away with that? A kill going his way, and already the approach is there. The round, it's just over. Blink of an eye.
You blink and you miss it. Leviathan, they win the pistol again. And Bren, I've lost count. They win every pistol. They've only lost 2 across the game with Fnatic and Xset. It just feels like these pistol rounds, they're almost perfect.
It's reminiscent, isn't it? Was a crew back in the day, putting so much effort into their pistol rounds, into their bonus rounds, making sure that they can convert them.
Yeah, absolutely true.
Such similar scenes.
And for Fnatic, no plant down, no opportunity to force, even if they had wanted to. And these pistol round losses have just been absolutely devastating for them. Fnatic have actually had better gun rounds on some of the halves that they've either drawn or lost at this point. Because Leviathan are just getting out to 4-0 leads so early. A little bit of damage there onto Boaster. Applies the vulnerable onto 3 of those players too. Fnatic haven't been able to put together a really dangerous second round. This one might look good though.
Yeah, the vulnerability applied. That is a lovely kill onto Adverso. Weapon obtained.
And instantly Shy goes for a reposition.
That's actual right into it. They've lined up for it though still. The damage is from King. Offloads a nade right before he dies, but Fnatic critically are inside the site. The spike just going to be reclaimed now, needs to be planted.
Oh, and Boaster almost got destroyed there.
Oh.
Looking away from the angle.
Oh, a whiff
Brimstone
molly
missed.
off against the wall. They wanted that to the back of the site so they could try and take some space for the repositioning. No one's expecting a Boaster, just looking around the map.
They're lost. They had no idea that Taco had got in that deep. The awareness, a big problem there for Fnatic, as they had no idea where Leviathan were coming from. The shots ringing out and just not able to react quickly. I think you're seeing nerves, pressure on both sides in that round.
Leviathan again. Moving over to their bonus, Josh.
But they will have the sting taken out of it. Leviathan are not going to be able to buy up a very good bonus round here, despite the fact, you know, you've got King at like 5-1, this kind of stuff. They just don't have that many weapons. So Fnatic should be able to hold the momentum here. And looking at that stat, Fnatic 3-0 when they get to the 3rd map. But I think you can toss a lot of these domestic stats out the window, to be honest.
Different pressures applied.
Very different. You're seeing a different Fnatic here. One where you can see the weaknesses, you can see the holes, and Leviathan have been exploiting them. Okay, got ourselves a little technical pause. That'll allow the players to stew and sweat a little more.
Yeah.
As Fnatic consider what their approach should be on the anti-bonus on what some people think is their best map, or at least top 2 here on Bind.
And people will, I think, take issue with that statement, just off the back of them playing against PaperX. But I think there's no team in the world like PaperX on Bind.
Absolutely
There's no team that can emulate their style and copy that kind of composition they went up at them. They are so unique in that I would still consider Fnatic to be, against most other teams, one of the best teams in the world at this particular map, at Bind.
And I just mean in terms of their map pool.
Sure.
You know, their icebox is the best that they have to show, but then probably the team's going to want to go towards Bind most of the time. And if Fnatic end up losing a series where they're allowed to play Fracture and Bind, that shows that they got outclassed. And so far, part of that outclassing has been in the pistol rounds, but we're going to get into it. Round 3. It's not a particularly dangerous bonus on the look of it.
Flash and aid off into the corner just in case the positioning was being played. But immediately, look at that, Leviathan backing away. Retaking the positioning up onto B long.
Extremely active.
Verso tight into the corner here. That's going to be a trademark.
He hasn't been checked.
Tagged off, has not been checked. Playing inside the all players right up in his face, Enzo. He salvaged that one. That could have gone completely skew with.
Yeah, what a miracle worker Enzo is there. Saves Mystic's life and potentially saves the round. Adverso looking like he really wants it. I mean, every moment Adverso has to make a play rather than just back off.
Man. He's taking it.
He takes it. He just goes aggro all the time.
And we've been mentioning it over and over and over again, but that is the power of a team that achieved their goals. They've made their jumps.
Yeah.
They've got the slot locked up.
And the pressure's off. They just play loose. Now, look at Shy and where he's managed to find himself too. All the way deep in cave. I think this is just going to be to play for exits here. No chance to really convert the 3rd round.
Yeah.
But here's a serious thing to keep in the back of your mind. Fnatic don't play with a chamber on this map.
Hindi ko nakita.
Choose Alpha
May
Yet
nireplyan
Viper
ako eh.
instead. They're going for the double initiator. You can't have all of those things. You can't have double controller and double initiator and a chamber. You're missing your raise. So Fnatic, what that means is Fnatic don't have the ability to detect pushes coming in from sand, from fountain,
Trademark.
as they go for their site hit. So as they group up to go for an exec over on A or B, there is going to be a period of vulnerability. And the meta in many of these domestic regions has been to try and punish that hole in a composition by going for a lot of flank plays.
Yeah.
Time
This
them
is...
nicely, go for showers,
They're
pushes,
actually worried
sand
for,
pushes,
ano,
Leviathan come up with
for
something.
Leviathan. They're worried for
So far, they've
Leviathan
showcased
dito
themselves
kasi
as an
ano.
aggressive team, not afraid to make plays like that.
To make plays like that.
Kasi Fnatic plays bind so well. So we'll have
One
to
of the other
see.
things that Leviathan might have in their heads as a counter strat, they've seen Alpha play this position alone a lot. And there are going to be periods at the time where
Antok
he's
na.
there throwing volleys over towards top.
Oo
lane off.
inantok na rin ako.
There. It looks like
2
he's gonna go
AM
for it
na.
right
Gusto
now.
ko na matulog
seen
at gumising
occasionally.
ulit.
Teams try to punish it.
There it is. Molly across the sky. This is something that Fnatic have cooked up. It helps them that extra element of utility on top so that Fnatic can take control of B long.
And it crucially allows them to use a volley to do it instead of Trailblazer Flash. Tools that would be better once you actually go into the site hit. It's smart, a lot of other teams have picked it up, but some teams are trying to counter-strat it too. Have to keep that in the back of our minds. But Fnatic have taken all the space they need to over at B, and this one looks like the exec coming through.
Prowler, Trailblazer, both being used by Fnatic. Not really much position, it's just Mystic now with the Haunt over the top. That's destroyed, and a nade at the back of the site. Oh, it's a significant amount of damage at that, but King still survives. The Leviathan players holding it down. And Averso making moves backwards and forwards around the orbs. The players are to the back of the site. Mystic does have it covered, but he's the only player left alive for Fnatic now.
He knows roughly where Melzer is. But the time is not on his side. A little
The
fake tap.
1v1 with the fake tap. Back of the site now. Should be a free
Oh,
plant. He
sayang.
swings into it.
Yeah, expecting Melzer to go for the aggressive play, and I think the read was good, honestly. When you're playing against Leviathan, you've got to expect them to take the aggressive option in most situations. If he sticks the plant there, he's got to be worried that Melzer's going to be pushing him. So it might seem a bit crazy from Mystic.
But he taps it and swings, expecting Melzer to be jumping out of the air.
Yeah, and I think it's a reasonable play. What isn't reasonable, Adverso getting away with it again. Hiding in hookah. How does he keep doing it? He's hiding towards short, hiding towards hookah, going uncleared.
Right there.
On the other side of things, though, take a look at the buy. Leviathan, despite winning, have a very shaky version.
And he's so shaky. Showstopper into the side of her. So dealt with, but King answers back with one of his own. An ultimate for an ultimate, a kill for a kill. Space regained for King. Has to respect that Astra Star on the floor, though. Backs away, wants to try and timing this Prowler, and now an opportunity is afforded for him with the Trailblazer.
The stun
up, stun applied, and the timing is there. The players, they can't see a thing. Mystic up close and personal, right at default box to flash into back sight. It's an adjustment, a play he needs to make,
No
but
way.
he's shut down nevertheless.
And Alpha Enzo trying to play this post plan. Alpha's position has been detected. Nobody on the spike right now in a 2v2.
This crossfight they've got, the Fnatic, despite losing all these players, they should still be favored. Enzo, though, he is low, 30 health to his name, a tap onto it, forcing it out. Now the Haunt in play.
Oh, they're both
Neither
low.
side, Leviathan, they don't want to stick this one, whipping out the headhunter. Alpha Ye wins the fight. Time so
Oh.
low, but just about
Sayang!
Shy gets it. With time to spare, another round for him.
Sayang!
2 seconds on the clock roughly, and 2 HP. Leviathan end up winning it in the clutch again. How many moments did they have against XZ where they were able to find these absurd clutches? Their buy in this round was nothing. It was rough. But King is the man. He sets them up.
I mean, just
Not only trading out Turka, but getting back and using all of Shy's utility to push forwards. The Seeker, the dog, whipping around the side.
There.
That was gorgeous.
yeah, filling in the
Leviathan up
gaps of any space.
4-0.
4.
Oh, 4-1, sorry.
4-1. Fnatic drop down into this half by Trailblazer. You hear that shotgun go off, you do get scared, but this time ready for it, and Poster was making a play. Just trying to lurk through into shower, see if he could get away with anything at all. Now it might be Alpha Year's time to shine. taking a lot of damage, and yeah, just as he tries to make the moves over the top of the box, his head peeking out.
Adverso just so content to swing everything and finding those
These players
timings
are so confident.
and hitting every shot.
They're not worried about the fact that they're up against the Sheriffs and the Guardian buys.
They're not worried that they're going up against Fnatic. They simply do not care. These players are bringing their best performances on the global stage. That's what you have to do.
You really do.
And so many players struggle to do that because there's a mystical aura around some of these top teams. Oh, people think Fnatic might be able to win the event. I'll have to back off. I can't take the duels against them. They'll beat me.
This fight.
Leviathan don't think like that. They haven't in any of their games.
No, I mean, you could tell there's something different about Leviathan. The way that they were approaching it, man. I mean, these guys were chilling before some of their biggest matches in this event.
Oh yeah, they were relaxed. Other teams, you see them around the venue just kind of keeping to themselves, reserved. Leviathan,
maybe.
laughing, chuckling, chilling. They are really just here to have their first experience at an international event and go as deep as they can. And that's it. Pressure off. On the other side of things, though, Fnatic going to take a timeout. Coach Mini
has to be done.
Trying to have some input on the rest of his players here. Fnatic are going to get the opportunity to buy back in. Massive amount of ultimates available for Fnatic as well. But so far, these attack rounds, the execs just haven't quite been working. There's always a player or a corner that they've missed. Yeah. Somebody that ends up causing chaos and catastrophe.
One variable that they just didn't consider. At any given time, the way that Leviathan play, they're always willing to, how many times are we going to say it? Just take the risks.
And if you had said to me at the beginning of the tournament, who do you think's the best team at controlling chaos? I think I would have said to you, Fnatic.
Sure.
A team like Fnatic. Maybe Guild, their style, the EMEA classic style, is to slow the game down.
And absorb it all.
Yeah, absorb the aggression, shut down the chaos, cancel out your playmaking. But Fnatic have struggled here.
And this is just an outstanding performance from Leviathan. People looked in their match up against Xset, and they looked at that, the scoreline. It was scrappy, it was messy. A lot of people considering them like, okay, Leviathan capitalizing off of maybe an underperformance from Xset, but now stepping up to one of the best teams in the world. But Fnatic, right away, they come up with a good response, an aggressive approach from Leviathan straight through B long, shut down.
And when it's a bit more straightforward like this, Fnatic have been coming up with the answers. Think about round 3 on Ascent. Again, aggression through B main, answered. Here, same kind of thing. Triple aggression, answered fairly easily. Fnatic have been able to control early round playmaking, but hasn't always been enough.
What a fast round.
Yeah, this round,
it's done.
Done. Dead and gone already.
Saves. And because of how close each of these rounds have been, despite the fact that Leviathan are now going to be, they're 5-2 with the scoreline, they've been losing a lot of their weapons. Every single time it's been made close by Fnatic, been making it costly with the economy.
Yeah, that's a great point. I don't exactly know how many rifles Leviathan are going to be able to have for the next round, but probably not a ton. And Fnatic did use some of their big ultimates here. They've got some in the back pocket as well.
Yeah, Seeker, I think just to really rapidly take the round, make sure nobody was lurking into hookah. It's a good trade, I think, and whatever was in the timeout, whatever was said, seems like aggression, a bit of pace, a bit of confidence to take the fight was what was needed.
Yeah, and I'm not sure the timeout will have been, oh, they're going to push B long, let's make sure to clean it up. But
it's a 3-player stun, by the way, with a Trailblazer there.
Yeah, Mystic's utility really has been excellent so far this series. An enormous step up from the guy compared to how he was playing for the rest of the tournament. I hope this is what we'll be seeing for the rest of the match. Fnatic will have a chance of being able to get back in. Melzer with a judge holds down hookah, and it is a slightly more conservative approach to the round. Taco, though, pokes his head out into sand, just seeing what he can see.
Can't resist. Can't resist the play.
But he's just baiting people into Melzer here. He wants them to think that it's only him inside hookah. Is Durka going to fall for the trap?
Pulling the nade, Melzer up close and personal, inside the smoke, the Nightfall. Scattered across, Satchel in play. No position really being gained in hookah right now. Fnatic being stopped as soon as the smoke fades. It's an opportunity! And finally they swing, 2 players to clear out the judge into hookah, but it is that 1-for-1.
It's a fantastic trade fire. Alpha, yeah. Melzer easily could have got 2 kills, but Fnatic have used a lot. King is already on the flank. This is the lack of the chamber here that we were talking about. Is anyone watching for it?
The timing could be everything. Ento goes back to re-clear it, but the spikes drop down now on a nade. A passive play by King. Doesn't overstep himself, doesn't give away his life after getting the 1.
And this Cosmic Divide. Shy with the pop flash, it's just perfect. Off the back of the sound cue.
Takolia, man, what a play! Utility coming together. And everything that we were, I mean, Josh, you were saying it. The lack of the chamber, of course, offers liberties, flanking liberties.
It really does. And especially with how good Leviathan were at stopping the sight hit coming through as well. Here's King on the flank, and he was able to get into this position. No trademark, nobody watching for it. But also, the initial sight hit that came through had a lot going behind it from Fnatic. But it was all stalled out by Shy, dumping utility. Shy popped his Seekers, then he popped the Trailblazer. And the point is, just to try and stop Fnatic from getting up B long. When you have Sky utility on one side and Melzer with a Judge on the other, Fnatic are forced to pause. And that's where King backstabs.
Taking that breather.
And now what do what do Fnatic do? They are going to be able to get a buy together, but it feels like they're going to end up getting scared and timid and wait for the push. But you need some level of aggression to bait the push out in the first place.
Yeah. Jiggle. Another snake bite, pushes off the angle along with the Trailblazers, so Fnatic again taking the space on B long, but not committing much more else.
Yeah, they're not going deep. And this, I think, was one of the struggles with Fnatic on their attack side. They use a lot of utility, but they don't take the space. Perhaps even a little timid.
It's so passive with this approach, but I believe, what is that, the Viper War probably going to be up now for Fnatic to try and work their way in. Double satchel play in order. That's going to break the trademark that was close as well. Flash off to the side. Players just trying to work their way in. Boaster, what a timing to catch. And kills. Definitely this time going away with Fnatic. A pop flash play, but again, angles being held. Nade pushing it, unfavorable for Melzer. Still he survives, and the angle here. You are full running, son. What is that? Straight into Alfie. The trade comes online down to Melzer. 1v2. The crossfire has to be unwinnable, surely, and the swing from Boaster is there in the end.
Good trades from Fnatic to be able to close that one out. And it's Alfia as well, bailing them out of some of these situations. How can you ask so much of someone so young, so inexperienced? But that's what Fnatic are doing right now. He is one of their star players, and they need him to play like a star. That play, I mean, he's spamming into it because he's just really trying to punish any attempt at a pop flash. Holding it for the planter. Also opening things up down short earlier on in the round 2. Sat top fragging for Fnatic, as they try and claw their way back into a half that started devastatingly poorly once again.
Melzer just content to disrespect it. The Haunt revealed his position, taking up short angles again.
Still going for a walkabout, isn't he?
Yeah. That utility again, the molly over the top, just something to push away the angles, but the question's been, what have Fnatic been able to get once they take that space on B long? This time it is so slow, approaching that minute mark. Spike still on the ground.
And Fnatic spend a lot of utility taking B long, but it's always being re-cleared by Shy. Now he can just jiggle peek it again. And look at Leviathan's information on showers and B long. They know Fnatic are crunched in the center of the map.
Stars drop down, that's going to be the pull. Over towards B long, Horns over the top, anybody to pre-fire it, that's going to be revealing the positions. Now a flash, double satchel engaged, Nurka is in there, the showstopper! Off to the side, making a mockery of it, but Mystic has absolutely salvaged it.
What an awesome series of kills by Mystic, coming up for his team when they need it the most. And it's all back down to Melzer and Taco. Leviathan knew all of those players were coming through hookah, and they crushed Durka's entry.
So clean by Fnatic, so clean.
That is the Mystic that you need to see. Confidently taking the space that Durka delivers to him and trading out the kills, winning the duels. Making those XX work.
Melzer at this point with just a Spectre and a half armor, not something he wants to particularly save into the next round. That's why he's still lurking around hookah. taken care of, though. Tackleer definitely wants to keep this weapon in his hands.
And Mystic has thoroughly woken up. I mean, he just swings. Delete smells are there. Can they take the op out of Taco's hands? Do they even want to?
No way.
Have a look at this 2K from Mystic. He comes in, clotheslines Adverso, and then picks up a kill on King while it might not look like the cleanest thing in the world, it's all of the space that he takes. And that, I think, has been the biggest problem to me watching Fnatic, is that they seem reluctant to follow their utility or follow their entry players, and that means they're giving up space. And Leviathan is so aggressive, they take it back from them.
Yeah, they fill in the gaps so often.
Yeah, they just backfill very quickly. So that's why I love that play from Mystic so much, because he's confidently driving forwards into the site, confident that everyone is going to be watching Durka.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. And he gets the job done.
Another one on the board, clawing it back. Fnatic, they force this timeout now from Leviathan.
And they're going to force another eco round as well. So while the scoreline sits at 4-6, if things go as expected, as the economy dictates, we should be sat back within one round. Still, not a position that Fnatic would have expected themselves to be in. Like I said earlier, any map pool that features Bind and Fracture has 2 out of 3 of Fnatic's best maps in it.
Yeah.
If you can't win that match, you can't win any of them against Leviathan.
Bringing it right to them. These rounds, though, Josh, right now that Leviathan are sitting on with the Sheriffs, the Operator in the hands of Tackleer, they always turn out to be dangerous, don't they?
Oh, these are the rounds where Tackleer takes liberties. He may want to save his Operator. It's not like he's working with a tour de force. Oh, no, he's going for it.
He's right up close and personal, man. But Durka, right off the back of it, as soon as that rendezvous is forced out, the double satchel play to take it. Now the Seekers on top. What have they got to try and stop this? The answer is not that much. A flash and a nade moves around Tackleer. You absolute maniac. Mystic is taken out, but Durka works his way in. A little bit of a jump and swing there, still finding the heads. Wonderful play in the end, but running out of bullets. And a nade and a swing.
Poster died to the nade. Alpha, you're desperately trying to make this one work. Yeah. Only just managing to finish off King off the back of the seas.
Still alive for Tackleer, but Alpha, yeah.
And that one will give you heart palpitations if you're a Fnatic fan, because while there were some great things that happened, like Alpha being able to clean
bringing
up and
it
how
back
confidently Durka was moving the way forwards, although there's some messy moments there too.
They just assumed that the nade into the smoke was enough to clear it. The Tackleer wouldn't swing.
Yeah, I mean, Tackleer doesn't have an Operator anymore, but when you look at the risks that he's making and the reward he could have gained, and did gain, in fact, on that peak, it ends up being worthwhile. They had opportunities to win that round.
Absolutely.
Once more, relying on Alpha to deliver them.
You're going to be staring at the floor there for a moment. Pull into the showstopper. That's going to force out this Viper. So win is that? You've got to be kidding. Should not be favored.
I'm surprised he could even see Boaster. Just the legs dribbling in, but had to hit a head.
Durka falling, not ideal. Fnatic now with this man disadvantage, this player disadvantage.
And Durka chose to get the aggressive timing instead of waiting for everybody else on his team to try and get some well-executed punish. I can't blame him, but it just didn't work out. Adverso is having so many of these big impact moments. And now what do Fnatic do? They've already used the Trailblazer, which is their major tool to get into this Viper's Pit. Enzo with double Prowler could help, but it's not like you're going to haunt and mark anybody inside there.
No.
There's not going to be any trails for you to use. You're just going to be wiggling the cat around inside a pile of ooze.
This Viper's Pit has caused so many obstacles now for them. The Flash gets information with 28 seconds left. Shy knows.
Why are they gonna
push space? The spam Boaster can't find the kill.
Why do they keep...
It sets up Shy.
Why are they forcing
Prowler
this?
inside of it, just wiggling around, hoping for the best. Mystic falls. Another pop flash play. Alfia tries to scale, he tries to capitalize, but it's all down to Enzo. And he's surrounded on every single front.
I mean, when they heard the sky, I think it's obvious there's not only Viper there.
And that is a great half from Leviathan. 7-5 up on a map that should favor Fnatic, given all of the data recently, but they're playing some lights out play. Look at that! How perfect was the shot? And all of the Leviathan players are stepping up. And this half, it might not look over for Fnatic, but Leviathan have just been insane in the pistol rounds.
It has been absurd. Let's send it down to our desk. Let's see what you guys are making of this final map.
Excited na ako makuha to.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, Leviathan, they're pulling out all the stops. They lead at the half. And Jess, you were saying this to us in the half, but King, he's stepping up. He needs to. Yeah. And one of the reasons they're winning is because he is.
I mean, if he wants to take the throne away from Fnatic on one of their best maps, he's going to have to be a literal king. And if he lives up to his name and keeps doing what he's doing, then yes, he will be. I wanted to show you his average at this tournament thus far, left-hand side column. Look at what he's been able to do in this, just in this first half of this series. Has been 285, and the reason I think that's so important is I said that they will have to do something incredible against Fnatic, and him being able to step up in the duelist when we're usually speaking about the likes of Taco on the chamber, for example, is a crucial part of that whole entire system of Leviathan working to win on this map.
Yeah, there's been so many moments where he's actually stopping. Like, for example, this round when they're coming to A, he's the main focal point. But I do want to stress as well that a lot of Leviathan's game plan is working around Adverso, and there's so much good team play from Leviathan that's making King look amazing, and he does look amazing. And you're right, they needed to pull out something crazy, but right now I'm still really upset with the way that Fnatic's playing. There's a lot to be said about, you know, team play not being there for them, a lot of forced error, unforced errors, all sorts of things where they're not trading with each other, where Boaster's going first through a Viper's pit like we just saw in the last round. It's not clean at all from this team, and we expected so much of that cleanliness coming into this tournament.
If Leviathan keep taking advantage of that lack of cleanliness, that lack of, you know, clean play that we know and set plays from Fnatic that we know on this maps particularly, then they have been able to just make, I think at the end of the day, I don't want to criticize Fnatic because I think Leviathan are outplaying them.
Yeah.
Time and time again, they're taking the space, they're forcing pressure on them, and I think Fnatic is not following up on their utility because they're not. Then there's too much pressure on them. I don't think there's enough time for them to be able to bring this back.
Well, we're going to see very soon, Jess, if there is going to be enough time to bring it back, because if they don't, Josh and Bren, they're going to be eliminated from Masters Copenhagen.
Mm-hmm.
What a tale that would be. For Fnatic, one of the favorites of EMEA to go out here.
Yeah, by far and away the favorites. They need this pistol. Fnatic looking like they want to go for a pretty heavy push down B long off the back of this one. Everyone is there, ready to collect inside the Viper smoke.
Up close and personal, Horde is going to be revealing just a boatload of the players and a flash on course.
Wow.
Supplementing this aggression nicely. Fnatic, a great answer. Melza dropped to 15 health on top of it. That util dump come into fruition.
And the Leviathan players just couldn't see them coming. All sat inside Adverso's poison orb, and yet still got marked by the Haunt. A gorgeous pistol round play by Fnatic. The timing could not have been more perfect for them to potentially save this series, save their tournament run.
So important to win out these pistol rounds against a team like Leviathan. They put so much stock into it. Their overall strategy, and with Tagalia dealt with Melza. Listen, I don't want to keep bringing it up, but this guy has been so clutch in the past. Looking like an impossible task here.
Yeah, there are only so many times you can ask it of him.
So low.
And I think that shows you some of the mentality that Leviathan have as well. They're chilling. They're chilling. Even though this goes to 7-7, they're putting the pressure on. Great pistol though, led by Mystic, who's been having a good game so far. Up at the top of the scoreboard for his team, despite how well Althea has been doing. And this should draw Fnatic back level. Now, Fnatic are great on both sides of the map here. For Leviathan, there might be some questions about whether or not they're going to be able to attack. But listen, they were able to get it done on the defense. I don't see any reason why this wouldn't be another nail-biter of a half.
Yeah, I mean, we've been questioning this entire tournament. I think I'm done with it at this point.
Yeah.
These guys have proven themselves. They brought it all the way to Act 3 against one of the best teams at the event. Fnatic do win out that pistol. Boombot for a boombot. Just exchanging it. Nate going to be rebounding off of Durka as well, but any more pressure that was applied, Durka was ready for it.
Are they ready for Adverso, though? He's been very quick into lamps. They should know that this is a possibility. Yeah. Again, no trademark that could watch, and there's the Prowler that clears.
Still holds it, yeah, the right click. Bring him posted down to 46 health, and this is just the round where, okay, see what orbs you can harvest, see what advantages you might be able to get, but...
Mystic says, my ult orb.
Yeah, that's just not happening, is it? Mystic, off the back of that, he's only 2 away now from his own ult.
Yeah, it could be some level of snowball potential. Shy detected, taken out by Durka, and it's
flawless.
Flawless. Fnatic couldn't have asked for a better beginning to this half, the final half of the match. They're going to have a nasty good bonus round buy coming up here too.
Classic play with the judge in hookah. That was causing all sorts of issues for them when they were playing the defense side. This time Alfie obviously picking it up.
And I think Adverso is going to find it more difficult on the attack half to have different looks going on, because he was all over the map. And like Bala said on the desk, some really interesting things going on, and a lot of the game plan revolving around him. I don't really see how they're going to be able to set that up. Over here though, King! What? Wasn't he full blind?
The utility just coming in his face, and yet he just was happy, absorbing all of it around Fountain, taking the shots, cool, calm, and collected.
However, Fnatic were able to respond, grabbing a couple of kills, including a swing, I believe from Boaster, just chatting his way out of hookah. And now they're leaving B. Gamble stacking over on the A side, expecting there to be some kind of group up A push down short. This is a bit concerning to me because the B side of Bind is quite difficult to crack back into.
Yeah, playing retake's never favorable. Leviathan. Viper Orb placed down, making sure that they clear these corners of the smoke. Could be a player here and there, but Fnatic nowhere to be seen. If you look at the minimap, they are contact pushing, re-clearing back through short.
Yeah, this might give them some kind of timing, but they're going to run into Takolia's trademark, Althea. Is it a good idea to have all 3 of your players retaking through hookah, though? Without a flash or something to be able to break this up? Maybe they would have wanted to go from multiple different directions, but perhaps the advantage on their side is that they're unexpected. No teleporter noise.
You know.
Here they come.
Expect this one. Double satchel play into it.
I saw you.
Known for Boaster and Alfie. They all fallen one after another.
Nakatakas dun
And that could have been Fnatic's opportunity to take the lead in the series.
Oh, man.
But Leviathan shut it down. And what was that play from King off the rip? I mean,
I don't know how he just stood his ground there.
He just swung out into B main.
He did not care.
Was he not blind? He absolutely was for the second kill, but just had a glimpse of where Mystic was on his screen.
One enemy remaining.
What a disgustingly good play by King to open things up.
And at this point, not even surprised when the players of Leviathan are able to pull that one out, but a speedy approach all the way in the showers. King is there, and it's going to be the pull to meet him. Not even able to pull that nade out, traded. And now it's a crunch. A trap play set up by Fnatic. Is there going to be a proper answer? Doesn't look likely. Smoked off, dropped away. Takalia wants to capitalize. He's moved all the way in. He's taken up the space, but spotted out. Kill not going to be handed to him. Alpha could have maybe got that timing.
But instead there's going to be a clash over towards Elbow. Both players think they're making the smart play here. The unexpected play. And they're going to clash.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Alpha knows there's someone there. He heard it. In the meantime, you've got Adverso so deep, trying to soundbait Mystic into chasing him.
What is occurring?
This round is madness.
So many little fights taking place in Verso. Oh, does not expect that one, I guess. Enzo waiting to collect an easy kill. Now just down to Melzer and Takolia. The utility that's just
this round looks confusing as to who is attacking and who is defending at this point.
In terms of their retake.
And there were a couple of players that could have been disastrous had Fnatic not been on their game. Takolia was making a reactive play into B, and Adverso ended up making a reactive push all the way into the defending spawn. But Fnatic were aware of it, and the Showers crunch works sublimely. King also just getting outplayed by the trap over in Showers. Looked a little lost there with Util in his hands as Durka goes for the swing. Perhaps just needs to keep in the back of his head the potential there for these re-clear, not quite trap plays, but re-clear utility plays from Fnatic.
Forced down to this half by Leviathan. This is the chance of Fnatic now to get their lead in the series with the kill onto Adverso. And more lurk's going to be occurring off the back of that one. Mystic actually ends up using his own Seekers just to try and get a bit of information at the round, maybe feeling a little bit spooked, but pushing off the back a bit.
Found one.
Oh, and he knows that there's somebody up there at Sand. He has great information to go for this play, but if he dies, he's going to lose a Phantom.
Is Taco going to... Oh, he's going to be regrouping with the rest of his team. He looked like he was going to be going the back way.
And Mystic needs help, so now Alfie has come to support.
What is occurring? No guns out, but finally, Headhunter. Moving to the sides. Damage is done. Mystic. This player's past him.
Mystic was ready to trade, but he was too late to support. Now Alfie's got back before anything.
Oh no!
They don't know the Mystic's
Look
there.
at the timing.
I mean, there's just crazy timings being taken all over the map here.
Just liberties with the play. A pull now as the smokes are dropped. Even a flash into backside, but still Leviathan not willing to commit just yet. Finally dropping down. Alfia can't quite get the kill, but the spike is dropped.
Boast is good for it, and I don't think there's any way they'll anticipate Mystic being behind.
Smart reposition. Taunt is dodged, even the Prowler.
Here comes Mystic.
The positioning of Melter. Mystic needs to get value, and there's the kill. Dropping down the spike, they still don't know that Melter's here.
But in a 1v4 without the spike down, what can he do?
What can he do indeed? Ult online, time running so low though, and he is swarmed.
And Melzer is just not being given the same opportunities, the same winnable moments that he was in the game against Xset. You can be the best clutcher in the world, you're not winning rounds like that. And these moments are getting wild. Perhaps Fnatic have decided, instead of trying to control the chaos, to embrace it. Yep. That's what it feels like.
Caution to the wind. Find your own plays, find your own mark in the series, and I mean, it's working out for them.
And Takolia has been putting his trademark in stranger positions. Doesn't always go for the default market one. Sometimes, perhaps in this round as well, putting the trademark deep in sand, as you can see on the minimap right now.
Yeah.
And it feels like Fnatic themselves are trying to abuse that a little. Making these unusual pushes.
Fighter just trying to clear through. Walking right over the star, not worried. Turco, he's got that nade out. Taking a chunk of the damage. Showstopper in play, Satchel avoiding it, and the orbital strike, well, it just about misses, but the angle is found anyway. The nade right into it. Turco does his best to avoid. Ults on ults. Abilities on abilities.
You do not.
And it only takes 1 or 2 rounds for Leviathan to already adapt and break down the way that Fnatic are holding showers. King was so fast past the Astra Star. Caught a timing on Durka where he didn't expect it whatsoever. And then there's the orbital strike ready to punish. Leviathan are thinking about how to break Fnatic's holds. Intelligent team.
30 seconds, give or take. Now the Seekers come through for the try and hit, but Boaster matters into his own hands with a kill onto Adverso. He may have just set his team up nicely, but the plant starting to get stuck. Taco going to be letting it go. Showstopper off to the side. The damage done, but no kills. Eventually returned. Shy. Suppressive fire locks that one angle down, but 20 seconds, Josh.
Time ticking. The plant goes down, however. Takolia getting vulnerable, but still sticks the plant. There are no flankers happening here.
Dinked one.
Ultimate in hand. Cosmic Divide to split the side up. This is going to be forcing a couple of fights. Melzer against the box. Players coming through right deep. Alpha, you just get the one, but Takolia still locks it down. And it's all down to Alpha. Has the positioning, taps it ever so slightly. The jump peak moving through, but being watched. 9-9.
And this match continues to be on a knife's edge. I think the game plan there was fairly solid by Fnatic, but they just missed all of their shots. They lost every duel. Durka, of course, getting outplayed at the beginning of this round. But look here, Leviathan just able to win so many of those 1v1 duels that happened off the back of the Cosmic Divide.
Fnatic's way to try and get back into the side. It ended up working slightly in their favor.
And this could be an enormous one. Whoever loses this round is going to be brought back onto a low buy. Durka pulls out the Operator and wins the raise head-to-head. I don't think that King was expecting that one.
Of course not. Of course you don't anticipate it. It works out anyway. Prowler to push them back. Boasters, of course, catching and containing Adverso.
That has been a key adaptation for Boaster. That's the second time he's managed to find a kill on someone reactively pushing short. It is a bit readable. That's what I said about Adverso. He had so many different looks on defense, but attack side bind as a Viper, you're doing the same thing most of the time.
Pushing and looking. Using your utility down short there. Great answer by Fnatic, and at this point, money running so low. Honestly, what is the goal here for Leviathan?
It might be another one of their saves. Leviathan have been saving a lot so far in this tournament run, finding and picking their moments where they have the humility to realize, even with how good we've been in the clutch, we should probably take our foot off the gas pedal here.
Slow it down, yeah.
Slow it down.
Live
for another day.
It's the percentage play.
Yeah. And this is going to give Fnatic the lead once more. One of the first times, actually, on this map. 10-9 going to be the score here. And so many of these rounds have been not decided, but one team has a huge advantage within the first 20 seconds.
Yeah, decisions being made just off the rip.
Leviathan, we saw it on Ascent and we're seeing it on Bind. Even though they're defaulting, they are aggressive on the default. They are going to fight for an area of the map instantly. Showers, B-long, whatever area of the map it may be. Fnatic have got to be ready and have to have an answer. And now Leviathan know that there's an operator on the other side.
Let's play.
One more variable to throw in the mix for Fnatic. Great adjustments, and you can feel it. We were mentioning it. Boaster's definitely getting a read of how Adverso's playing. He's caught that one twice now.
So that puts the emphasis on Adverso to mix it up. However, he's gone for the exact same Viper wall. And there are different walls that you can do. Hello, though. Here comes Leviathan again going for their aggressive B-long approach. Countered by Alfia throwing down the Viper's pit.
And the snake bite. No one can really follow up off the back of this Trailblazer.
But that is going to make Alfia a little cautious. He doesn't have control of the entirety of B-long, but it is almost impossible to get up into that Viper's pit. You just take so much decay damage by the time you've met the Viper.
Smoke's being held, players regrouping. Leviathan. What option are they going for? Fast pop out of hookah, there's stars waiting for you. Fnatic's defensive protocol, I think, in this round looks pretty clean.
Yeah, Mystic can easily drop back into the Viper's pit and flash himself out.
Contacting all the way.
That one's just for info. It's way too deep.
So deep. But still, now the utility, that's going to trigger out the pull, hiding within the smoke. Flash into the back, does not trigger it, and what a play by Boaster! Lets it rip, spraying it down with a Phantom, 3 kills found for him.
The IGL for Fnatic, setting up that defensive hold and ripping it.
30 seconds
Leviathan boomed again. Have to just sit back, go for another save. These hits into the site, Fnatic have figured it out. And they are extending their lead to 2 rounds here. I love the way that Boaster and Mystic played that too. It looked like it was going to go a little bit wonky as Mystic sent a flash all the way through to sand. Not quite considering that players could have been inside hookah. But Boaster locks it down. Boaster might be quietly having his best LAN performance ever as well.
He's putting up insane numbers.
9-11, grabe.
Yeah. Yeah, and Mystic in this match as well. Doing a good job.
Look at him. Just for a brief moment, but now Boaster has claimed the top of the scoreboard for his team. And what a response. As soon as the utility starts to come out from hookah, he knows what to do.
He's also allowed to place 3 stars at hookah there. 1 to smoke, 1 to suck underneath hookah, and then 1 to stun as he swings. Because his team have got the rest of the map. He just has to focus on that one specific area and does his job extremely well. Alfia's got B long, the other 2 players haven't heard anything towards A. He's not worried. Leviathan perhaps being a bit too readable in some of their attempts.
Yeah, certainly.
I think now they're going to take a timeout.
Fnatic have got to feel like they've got a lock on this series now. They are just 2 more rounds away from being able to grab this one. And I know it seems comical me saying that. I know it does, but the nature of the second half, it's Fnatic with better ideas, I think, of what might be coming their way.
And I do agree with you. I think Fnatic are starting to edge out a gap. But if I've learned anything about this Leviathan team, is that they never give up, never give in. They've always got something else to give.
Yeah.
And Leviathan are going to go for a force here. King can barely buy. What's he going to go for? Oh, he actually gets dropped the Vandal and can buy Melzer a Spectre of some sort, maybe? 10 seconds for them to figure out what they want their economy to look like, but this is the round that's probably going to decide who moves on.
Weapons being swapped around, but you're right, Josh. The important one. Money's so low for Leviathan at this point with this investment. A round they have to convert, otherwise they're going to be sitting at match point for Fnatic.
With a horrible buy. It is a must-win round for the Chilean team.
Trailblazer. Info to be gained right across. That's going to be broken though early. Doesn't see too much more.
And Mystic has now used his Trailblazer and both flashes. So perhaps that's success for Leviathan. They've got 3 players on B and bled all of the utility out of the Sky player. But Mystic is confident enough to continue jiggle peeking B long. At some point in the round, if there's any noise towards A, Boaster is going to rotate.
Fnatic
There's another flash.
Mid-round information.
Another flash just came online for Mystic. He flashes Fountain, doesn't hear anything, and now Boaster starts to rotate. Is it in time?
And do you expect Urka? From the high ground, Enzo interviews and a Prowler spots it out, has to vacate the premises. The jiggle peek baits out the shot. Now the Viper's pit through, but 3 players are really just locked in showers. They have to get through. A pull comes down. They don't really know where the plant is. It's a Season 8 combo. Shy. Can he get out of there? How is he surviving? Oh, the decay just fading away.
It's a great idea from Enzo and Durka, but they just got the plant position slightly incorrect. And now have to retake into a pit.
The health is not good still. Fnatic have got the better guns. And a bit of spam could just win this one out with Takolia falling. The extra element that they were hoping for. Remove taken out. Snipe bait dropped. King's removed. Melzer has to come up big. And what a play to make. A snake bite on the floor. Durka ends up falling. The decay damage just too much. Durka. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
It's Adverso again. First half performance coming out from him.
Round.
Inside the Viper's pit. He cleans everyone up. What a play from Adverso. He's been such a monster for them in this tournament. He went crazy against DRX as well, despite the fact that they lost that series, but he just outplays Fnatic here. Just chilling, sat back inside his Viper's pit, applying pressure constantly.
Full confidence.
And on the other side of things, Alfia also had a big round, being able to get the flank off with the smoke, punishing Taco, but it wasn't enough. And Leviathan buy themselves a full attempt back in this series.
It's a bit of a buffer, isn't it? Coming down at 10-11. Oh, the Trailblazer, Durka missing. Positioning being gained. What is that?
Reminiscent of King's leap up into heaven. He manages to find a blast pack kill, but Fnatic have answered quickly.
The play being made by Adverso. He wants to just, again, take the space off of it.
He's always so
controller versus controller, controller versus
An extra
controller.
level on top. They traded out efficiently. They have the player advantage, but the plant now starting to go down. Boaster aware that Adverso playing around that triple box space, still being gained. A timing. Look at where Adverso is.
He is so incredibly deep.
They're spamming the smoke.
Yeah, they expect it, but Mystic is still a long way away, expecting Taco to be on B.
Cosmic Divide. Nightfall in hand for Enzo. Wants to scatter this across, wants to set them up. A flash. Nightfall. And now nothing's really going to be gained other than that to swing through. But Fnatic have got the answer. An appropriate response. And they're going to bring it to match point.
Grove.
They have one opportunity to be able to convert this, or rather 2 opportunities to be able to convert this and take away the match before allowing Leviathan to get to overtime.
Match point.
And their approach so far has been diligent. What was this shot from King?
Just ridiculous.
What is that?
Just ridiculous.
But the trade was instant, and Boaster has been doing such a great job of making sure Adverso doesn't get too much space on A.
Boaster's been playing the best games of his career, in my opinion, when you consider the stakes that have been set here. This guy, 19 of 13, top of the scoreboard. He's got such a great read on what is happening, but for Leviathan, they want to stay into this.
They definitely do.
A defining moment, a defining round. They have to win this one now.
Leviathan have stolen so many hearts with their run, showcasing that LATAM is certainly not a one-team region, that Leviathan are a team to be respected, a team to be loved. Here comes Fnatic on the push. Taco's going to have to receive this one.
Taco has to get the kills, he has to get the goods, the jiggle, the spam, just from the Bulldog, but the flash around, and Mystic takes the wider swing. Still the 1-for-1.
And Durka.
Durka is 1 HP. Hindi siya na-heal ni Mystic. Mystic died.
Joking, a better gun. Anything other than a Bulldog, and he's falling.
Uh-oh.
Tucked in the corner.
And it's not being watched.
Why
Althea,
do they
of course.
just...
Why would you clear that?
It's an awesome read as well. Althea has been going for these mid-round pushes fairly often, looking to smoke off the trademark. And now Durka, with only a single health point, looks to try and slip into the site.
Seekers are moving in a complete opposite direction, but still the Leviathan players need to get into this one. A satchel to take the space.
Surely this one is not winnable for Fnatic. Surely this is Leviathan getting one step closer to
really
OT.
Shouldn't be the snake bite. Moments away, Durka on 1 health. A Prowler latching on, positioning gain, disrupting the plan. 22 seconds left. It's gonna have to be inside the tube.
Uh-oh, dead.
And Liberty's being afforded, but still the double swing. It shuts him down. Sees over the top, trying to make the play happen. Enzo will not get the space he requires.
Why do they
And
push?
that's one of those match points slipping away for Fnatic. They're looking to get aggressive on the defensive side, but Leviathan went 1-for-1 in the first and heavily punished the second. Leviathan's buy is not great, but their read on the game is, can they take that step towards overtime?
No way.
Defining moment in every player right now in this match's career, right here. You bring it back from the brink. Leviathan have done it before.
And what a push instantly. The showers crunch, but there's no one home. And it's all on Althea with a judge.
Instant response, King, showstopper, playing into it. Clearing the corner, Althea goes down so low, but he oversteps himself once again.
Frankly,
4v4, plan going down. It's up to Fnatic to play the retakes, to deny the OT.
Just Althea being able to go 1-for-1 there, I think, is good enough for his team. Everybody on Leviathan is playing off the site right now, all running away, giving the space, anticipating the Seeker push.
The Seekers are out, collecting their targets. They know that the site is essentially clear. Durka going to be holding this one, trying to get half, but the orbital strike has to satchel out of it. Down to the wire now. The defining moments again, right through the wall, but Durka intends to stick this one. Boaster locks it down, the Horde finding it, but sticking it, the fuse is not enough. It's a 2v2, and with time running so low, Enzo, he's gonna lock the angle, he's gonna find a shot, time is bought!
But he got off the defuse!
No way! No way!
He got off the defuse! Boaster didn't believe in Enzo there, and it's 12-12, it goes to overtime!
What?
A crucial and critical mistake from the Fnatic IGL, who was otherwise doing incredibly well in this map. Watch it, the POV. Look at the diffuse bar at the top.
No way.
He gets off it.
No
and
way.
it only just starts again.
No way, man.
And from Enzo's point of view, I think he thought he'd done enough. Heartbreak for Fnatic. The retake was immaculate. But the time, the biggest enemy. And we head into our first overtime. Operator up on the side of Leviathan. Tacolia picking this one off. Heading in. Can they do the unthinkable?
Even to bring it to this point is just absurd.
Is Melza scared of making a play in OT? Not a chance.
There.
Just holding his own smoke, making sure that he catches anybody that might just be trying to lurk through this. Respecting it. Tacolia still with the operator on the corner, but it looks like Durka might be aware. With the boombot being destroyed, it should signify that there could be a player just perched up on that angle.
Fnatic very slowly clearing out this area, expecting Melza to still be aggressive. This is the value of conditioning your opponent to expect aggression. They see the smoke, and they're going to use so much utility, so much time. There's only 50 seconds left in this round.
Time mo. Hi, Ahmed.
Fnatic don't have
I think pag wala ng time, wala ka talagang choice kundi stick eh. Kasi either way you're gonna lose. Even if you kill the last guy, if there's no time, you're gonna lose.
A disjointed
If
approach, but
he
maybe
trusted
Alpha
his
can make it
teammate
work.
dun.
Maybe
Although
he can
gets
do the
ko why he
unthinkable.
did, kasi
Up
it's
top on
safer
the
to
box. Do they know
2v1.
he's there? Do they know the positioning is found?
What's going
Alpha
on?
finds
Because
three.
it's safer to 2v1.
though,
Pero
coming back
His
in.
way in.
Here's a safe pair of hands for Leviathan.
Oh,
In
no
such a
way.
scrappy opening round of overtime.
No way.
Leviathan.
No
point.
Just
way.
unthinkable. Just unthinkable. The way this is
No
going.
way,
Fnatic.
bro.
And those were the big rounds. Sorry, those were the big kills that Alpha got. They were full blind.
Instinctual plays, not enough. And Leviathan are now sitting at match point.
With an opportunity to pull off the biggest upset that we've had in the tournament. Send home the EMEA #1 seed and cement their place in the history books alongside Crew as an incredible LATAM team.
Nearly taking a showers there. Space gained, and Takalier again has bored into this glass operator. Same with Durka on the opposing side. What value would these players be able to get? Durka playing on top of this truck, this long angle, but it is a patient game for now.
Both teams taking a cautious approach to the attack rounds. But we saw from Fnatic's point of view that they let the time tick down too low and didn't have enough control over the map.
No way.
Durka's operator could be a nightmare for them to navigate if they choose to commit down
No
short.
way.
But Leviathan is sending the spike towards B. Boaster comes to reinforce, and the Flash sees nothing. Does that send Boaster back towards A? He's needed desperately on the B site right now, whether he knows it or not.
Nade in hand, here comes the exec right into the back of the site. Position is still being played, snipe bite, it's a double satchel off to the side! The blind is good! But can Boaster
No
really do
way.
more?
No way.
Damage is done, he found
another.
2 kills! But not enough to push him back. Nade over the
What
top,
the heck?
Adverso, so
No way.
low. 25 health now, chunked
Oh
down
my
in the play,
God.
but for the map, for the match,
What?
it has to be a retake. Durka and Enzo.
Oh my gosh.
For their
Naka-off
tournament
pa yung
lives
isa.
to get Fnatic into the top 4.
Oh my gosh. This is their last.
You're gonna forget it right now. The jiggle off to the side, Durka. Information gained, but how can he do it with just the operator? The double swing. Enzo! You can't be doing this, son. A 1v2. Swaps the weaponry around. The players are low. A single bullet on either of them. It might be enough. It could be enough. The horn dropped. Positioning gained. And now that the fuse stuck down to half, he knows where the opposition is. He's sticking it.
What an insane play from Enzo! Ice cold! Doing what Boaster couldn't! Sticks the defuse to send us to another round of OT! I cannot believe the Fnatic were able to win that 2v3.
There's just no shot.
Look at that from Mystic. The reaction.
And look at this guy. Dude, you're making Marv jealous with the ice in those veins, man. I mean, he is just ice cold.
That is crazy. Off the back of his horn, marking up the final player there. And Enzo, without too much of a reaction, but you know that the rest of Fnatic could feel themselves going home. And just the anticipation, the adrenaline running through both of these teams right now as they fight to play in front of our first crowd in Valorant at an International Masters. They fight for top 4. They fight to keep themselves in it.
Grabe.
The dreams of a championship alive for either of these
Ayaw
teams.
umuwi, dude.
Ludicrous.
No one wants to go
Timeout
home.
fading away now for Leviathan. And when it gets to this situation, when it gets to this, the rounds of overtime traded back and forth, the strap book, the playbook, it goes out the window.
It certainly can. You know, Durka was a player that really came alive for them in the overtime of Fracture. He closed it out with 4 kills. Currently sat at the bottom of the scoreboard. Extremely uncharacteristic for Fnatic. If he can find massive impact, it could tip the scales, tip the balance. But for now, it is dead even.
Horns over the top, even a snake bite. Very familiar scenes. The opening setup by Fnatic. You can feel it, the tension in the air.
They know that Leviathan's players could be playing on some of these angles that they've tried to play aggressive. Showers be long previously. There's a Trailblazer broken instantly. Tackle are not trying to avoid it at all. And they don't want any piece of it. Mystic and Boaster are running away.
I mean, that's information gained.
But this is going to be another hit at 50 seconds where all 5 of Fnatic are coming down one lane of the map.
And look at this flank by Shy.
It smells like disaster here for the EMEA top seed.
Launching smoke.
What can they find?
They're just contacting!
And they find the pick-off, still a trade in order. Leviathan.
The flank, the flank, the flank, the flank. Shy, Shy.
Side of it. It is so dangerous.
Oh my god.
Coming through on top of it. Shy might be the added element, the nade. Oh, so much damage dealt to
Shy!
but forced to stick it down anyway. He's got it into the post land, but they just don't have the positioning.
Shy doing wonders on the flank, and it's just trivial. These defense rounds for the Leviathan in OT are trivial. Fnatic aren't giving them enough of a mixed look. Their pushes are working, they're anticipating the hit, stacking players on the site and crushing them. I mean, what is that as well to take Zerka out? But here Althea thinks he might have a timing on Taco, who should be perhaps playing towards the plant, towards the site. But there's players to go and do that. And he just stays rock solid. Leviathan with another match point.
Absurd.
It took something ridiculous to save it last time from Fnatic. How many more do they have in the tank?
How do you keep the energy going? There's no if, you just must make it happen. Guy with a Trailblazer, good info onto the one player, pushing them back, and they've gained B long control.
Mystic should be looking to respond with his Trailblazer fairly shortly as well. But he knows that this wasn't a fast sight hit. They can't overstep themselves. There's still 3 players anchoring here. And we can see from the Spike's position, Leviathan haven't chosen which direction to go in yet.
No, properly slowed down by the mark. That's good info. So Mystic now knows that there's going to be players loitering around that section of the map over towards B long.
And this hold is a... oh, Althea moving away.
No way.
That's a Fnatic classic. Having Mystic over towards elbows, somebody that can play inside the smoke that Boaster's going to put towards hookah. Fnatic put a lot of thought into their defensive setups.
Info game, smoke's now dropped. This is going to be the hit coming through. A pull is used early there just to try and disrupt them coming through, but what can Fnatic do to players? Ready and waiting, the crossfire setup, the counter flash! Fnatic responding kind.
It is a beautiful defensive setup from Fnatic. The crossfire's immaculate.
Triple overtime.
Taking the spike with
Triple
15
overtime.
seconds down short.
Runner all the way around, dropping down. Adverse only gets the 1, but it is traded. 11 seconds in the round.
There's
no
nowhere
showers
safe.
control. Takalea pushed off of it. A haunt, a satchel. It's all being used to try and push him back, and there's no time available. Another round of OT.
Look at how Durka plays that as well. He is not willing to take a fight, even towards the end. Just making sure he makes the perfect percentage play of throwing out satchels. I love the defensive setup though from Fnatic, but it's their attack sides that have been really lacking. It might not say that when you look at the scoreboard with how many Fnatic are actually putting up in each half, but the game plan has just devolved in OT. No timeout, just going straight into it here.
Goodness.
They need map control, they need threats in different areas of the map, and Leviathan have been so happy to push. Getting Taco deep on B long towards the teleporter already. In a very wide position.
Boaster has an operator. Boaster has an operator in the shower's angle. The boom pop missed him. It's a free shot and a free kill.
What a play. What
Boaster.
an absurd play to make. Here's Melzer though pushing into market. And Boaster's getting
forwards. Boaster knocks it down.
Here comes another push though. Melzer, another threat that Fnatic have to deal with. Enzo watches for it. And Enzo and Boaster feel like they've won Fnatic this OT round. I mean, Boaster's just got the Midas touch right now.
You want a different look at a Fnatic on our attack rounds? You got it. Boaster gets 4. A dry operator, man. The glass cannon coming in.
The glass cannon.
Do not question this IGL.
My word. Up to 29 kills currently as well. A kill per round off the back of those 4. How does he get this one?
No.
What is that?
No way.
Raw instinct.
He just knows. He knows the swing's gonna come through there.
And now the pressure is put firmly upon Leviathan. It feels like they've been free rolling up until this point, but they know that they could win this series. They know that they can keep winning in this tournament. To have it ripped away from them here would be too cruel. Can they put together an attack half? Can they break the Fnatic defensive setups?
That's the question.
No way.
Out of showers early. Enzo, of course,
No more
spamming
overtimes,
it
please.
down. Pressure being applied by Leviathan. Different areas of the map, but it's just Taco holding this, contacting up.
Not quite contacting though. They heard the rendezvous. Mystic heard it being placed and has backed up, giving him the respect that Taco deserves.
What advantages can Leviathan even get? The defensive setups, the protocols that Fnatic have been able to pull out in these rounds, they've been almost flawless.
But Leviathan have been hitting B almost every time. And now they're going A, and Boaster's read it again.
It's a read. The players
Boaster,
are leaning that way.
Boaster is just having a
dropped.
fantastic game right now. Not only is he finding the kills, but he's always on the site to reinforce his 2 anchors. And he's always got the right read.
Leviathan not giving it up though. Stimmy dropped, sees, locks him up at a choke point with 30 seconds remaining. This could get more than dangerous. This could be it. The final blow for Fnatic to move forwards in this tournament. A haunt over the top, and the space is just not gained. It's a pivot, but where is the space being gained?
And Boaster's already back.
17 seconds left, the snake bite dropped. Tackle here, the double satchel all the way through. Kills need to flood in. Fnatic, what a lockdown. 9 seconds, the spike, it's gotta go down. Tackle Lear.
Boaster makes the play to try and win the series and gets punished for it.
No way.
A 2v2?
There's just no world. Dodging, juking, hopping across now down to the 1v1. Enzo. So cool, calm and collected, but it's Adverso who comes out on top.
Enzo was masterful in the clutch previously, but Adverso responds. 27 kills from Adverso, a player that's been good on every part of Leviathan's game. Helps us go to the 4th round of overtime. Yeah, I know it's been the most OT rounds of the tournament. I can feel it. And both of the players, all of the players can feel it too. I mean, they had OT on Fracture, but it wasn't like this.
Just ludicrous.
Who makes the devastating mistake first? Who makes the game-winning play first? I thought Boaster had done it. But it was not to be. Leviathan will not go quietly into the night.
Fast play by Turker, isn't it? Satchel's in play, Kingno locks it down. Showers control, so important when you know this hit's coming through. When you know that Lamp's control is compromised. But Mystic, an aggressive play, flashes into the back, and Turker well supported. Supplemented, an instant response again though. Leviathan in the 3v3 with a spike drop down here. King!
Oh! Loops back around, punishes King. This time finds the timing. This time not punished by Taco.
Headshot's being found, dropped across. One angle, the Brimstone Molly drops it off, but it just about misses. The angle's still being watched. Alfia, what a play, what a performance from this guy. The reflank has given all the time in the world and all the space for Enzo to get comfortable.
Could this be a Melzer moment? Caught by the seas, that's brutal.
Positioning cleared. Spike.
He's sticky.
You don't get RPA, anticipates it, knows what a second one is, you're reloading! Pistol out! The right click fails! Another round 1 with Enzo coming up huge.
Switching sides.
Enzo has just been masterful for them towards the end of these rounds. That got sloppy, that got scary. But Fnatic had all the right moves to keep it just within their control. What on earth is this? To Enzo's credit, he looks cool.
Come on.
Oh my god.
One more. You heard it from Alfia, and he's dead right. One more would do it. One more will put Fnatic into the top 4. But they've struggled to close these out. They've had opportunities. Where's the killing blow?
How can you finish this team off? That's what Fnatic are thinking.
Maybe with a Durka push. Durka looking to find the timing.
The jiggle peek, respected. Rendezvous, instantaneous, you see it. An approach being taken with the nade. Pushing into the site, but it's one being played out again. A haunt, drop down to the low ground. It is sloppy. Both sides letting it rip with the rifle, spraying each other down, but Plant now still here. Melter not being pushed off. The snake bite in the CZ does connect, but is the damage done to push him away? Is the damage done to kill him? The answer is no.
Mystic's on the flank right now, and he actually broke the trademark. They should know he's here. This could be it. This could be the play.
Oh my god.
With such a huge advantage, and Mystic all the space to work with the crossfire setup. A smoke to cut it across. Leviathan, the tournament life on the line. The trade out is there. Adverso comes up with it. It's all down to him. A 1v2. Breaks it down. And what a play. Enzo.
Oh my gosh.
So
finally.
massive in the clutch. So consistent for his team. And he deals the killing blow.
Fnatic had to fight for every inch of that series. A series in which they had 2 out of 3 of their best maps. And Leviathan gave them hell. What a performance. What a team Leviathan are. And maybe everyone expected Fnatic to make it into the top 4, but that was not a given. Not by any means. What a showing. What a series. What an evenly matched game. And for it to come down time and time and time again to Enzo, who delivered and delivered and delivered for them in the clutch.
Enzo can't believe it.
It's relief, the primary emotion that Fnatic are feeling. Not joy or euphoria, but relief. And I'm sure it'll be some level of devastation for Leviathan, but once they're given enough time, they can look back over this tournament run as an astounding achievement, honestly. I think Leviathan proved to the world that they are a team, a team to be respected, a team perhaps to be feared. And they are going to go to champs. We have not seen the last of Leviathan this year.
You can look forward to their play. Moving forwards deeper into the finale of the VCT season.
But man, what an insane final few rounds there that we had on Bind. The failed defuse after Enzo wins almost like a 1v2, and Boaster doesn't quite trust him to deliver it. And then Enzo sticks a defuse with another player in a 1v1, and then loses a 1v1 to Adverso and finally wins one. I mean, just so many moments that were absurd.
These teams' careers, these players' careers, food ready and waiting. It's been a long series, guys. You deserve it.
Yeah.
Eat up, fill your stomachs.
I don't know whether they really did gobble up taco, but Leviathan played a lights out game, and Fnatic were made to well and truly sweat. But they have time now to reset, some days off to gather themselves and move forwards and play in front of that crowd to make improvements on what were some sloppy moments and see if they can win the championship to take the trophy. Look at the shake of the head from Boaster. He knows that one was tough.
Pushed to the limits against a team that took out the #1 North American seed. They pushed the #1 MEA seed to the very brink. But they deserve every moment of this victory.
Yes, finally.
They claim their spot in front of the crowd, moving forwards deeper into this tournament in that lower bracket.
And what a bracket this is going to be. Just some absurdly good teams, great players. Alpha's form just seems to continue to improve. And the support players stepped up massively there for Fnatic, helping Durka in what was a weak match for him. And that's back-to-back games where Durka hasn't been the biggest player after a bold beginning.
Look at that, our in-zone MVP is up on the screens. Multiple choices that you could make. I mean, listen, you can give it to a lot of these players. I think Mystic has played one of the best tournaments of his entire career. Boaster's IGLing and
best
setups,
match, yeah.
Sure, over the course of the match.
I don't know who I would give it to. I mean, obviously, the recent rounds that we just watched in OT, it was Enzo. But it wasn't Enzo over the course of the whole series. I think Mystic had the biggest step up in performance. Boaster had an insane series on Bind. Just reading
Sana manalo
things
DRX
masterfully.
mamaya.
I don't know. Althea was amazing. Who do you want to give it to? It's your choice.
Yeah, it is an
Boaster,
absolutely outstanding
bro,
match that we just
Boaster.
witnesses. I'm going to deal with the devil, I think.